The Shinigami realm is a desolate, crumbling landscape where gods of death gamble their immortality away in total apathy. Meanwhile, in the bustling human world, Light Yagami stares out his classroom window, feeling a profound sense of disillusionment with the stagnant society. Both worlds are currently drowning in boredom.
I have lived for centuries in this decaying wasteland where nothing ever changes, and the apples are shriveled husks. It is time for a little entertainment to break the monotony of eternity. I believe I will drop my notebook into the human world and see what happens next.
A single black notebook descends from the sky, plummeting toward the concrete jungle of Tokyo. This artifact, belonging to a god of death, carries with it the power to alter the course of human history forever. It is a catalyst that will set off an unprecedented global battle.
I was just sitting in class, wondering if anything interesting would ever happen in this rotten world. Then I saw it, a strange object falling from the sky. It landed in the courtyard like it was waiting for me. My curiosity is piqued, even if it is just trash.
The human whose name is written in this note shall die. What a ridiculous prank. Someone put a lot of effort into making this look authentic, even writing out detailed rules in English. It is a sophisticated joke, but I have no time for such childish, superstitious nonsense today.
Even as I walk home, I cannot stop thinking about that notebook. If it were real, it would be the most terrifying weapon in existence. I know it is just a prank, like those chain letters that threaten you with bad luck, but something about it feels strangely magnetic. I am home now, staring at the blank pages. Why am I even considering this? It is stupid to let a notebook affect me this much. If I write a meme and nothing happens, I will feel like a fool. But if it works, no, that is simply impossible.
5 days have passed since the notebook entered Light's possession. The air around him has grown heavy with a secret purpose. He walks through the streets not as a mere student, but as someone who has glimpsed a hidden truth. The world remains the same, but he is different.
My mother is so proud that I placed first in the national practice exams again. She has no idea that my mind is focused on a much higher plane of existence. I have already found what I want. Studying for school seems like a trivial pursuit compared to this. I lock the door to my room, finally alone with the power I have discovered. The television news is filled with criminals who deserve to be punished. I sit down, pick up my pen, and prepare to continue my work. The silence in this room is deafening tonight. Arg! What the hell are you? You just appeared out of nowhere, standing in the middle of my room like a nightmare come to life. Are you a ghost, a demon, or some kind of hallucination brought on by my lack of sleep over the past few days?
Why are you so surprised to see me, Light? I am Ryuk, the Shinigami who dropped that notebook you have been using. Since you are the one who picked it up, I have come to see what you have done with it. You look like you have seen a ghost.
A Shinigami? So the notebook is real. I am not actually surprised to see you, Ryuk. I have known for 5 days that the power I held was supernatural. I have been waiting for the owner to show up and claim it, or to tell me the price.
You are an interesting human, Light. Most people would have lost their minds or thrown the book away in terror by now, but you seem to have accepted the situation with a cold, calculated logic. I must say, I am quite impressed by your lack of fear.
I have been expecting you because I knew the notebook was not of this world. I have used it to judge those who make this world rotten. Every name I write is a step toward a better future. I am not afraid because I am doing what is right.
You have been busy, haven't you? Let me see that book. Whoa, look at all these names. You have filled page after page with the names of criminals in just 5 days. I have never seen a human use the Death Note with such intensity.
Most humans would be too scared to write even one name, fearing the moral consequences or the potential for divine punishment. But you have written hundreds.
Are you not worried about what this does to your soul? You truly are a unique specimen among your kind, Light.
Most people would be too scared, but they are weak. I am different. I am the only one who can do this. I am using the Death Note to cleanse the world of evil. I will create a new world where only the kind remain, and I will rule.
You want to become a god? That is a very ambitious goal for a high school student. I dropped the notebook because I was bored, and it seems I found exactly what I was looking for. This is going to be far more entertaining than I imagined. Here is the deal, Light. The moment the Death Note lands in the human world, it belongs to the person who finds it. It is yours now. However, as the original owner, I will stay with you until the notebook is finished or until you eventually die. If you ever decide you do not want it anymore, I can take it back. But if I do, I will have to erase all your memories of the notebook and its power. You would go back to being just another ordinary student, oblivious to the truth. There is no special bond between us, Light. I am not here to help you or hinder you. I am just an observer. I will not take sides in your crusade. I just want to watch how a human handles the power of a god.
I understand. I do not need your help. I have the notebook, and I have the will to use it. The fact that you are here just proves that I am the chosen one. I will continue my work, and you can watch as I change the world.
One more thing you should know. There is no price for using the notebook, not in the way you think. But do not think that a human who uses the Death Note can go to heaven or hell. Your fate will be something entirely different. When the time comes for you to die, I will be the one who writes your name in my own notebook. That is the only promise I make. Until then, let's see how much of a god you can actually become in this rotten world.
In the quiet of a student's room, a terrifying power has been unleashed. The Death Note, a black notebook from the realm of the dead, allows its owner to kill anyone whose name is written within its pages. Light Yagami has chosen to use this weapon to systematically purge the world's evil. I have to say, Light, your dedication to this project is truly impressive for a mere human. Most people would have used the notebook for personal gain or succumbed to fear, but you spend every waking hour recording the names of those you deem unworthy of life in this world.
I don't have time to waste on idle talk, Ryuk. I only have a few hours each day after school and my prep courses to ensure the world is being cleansed. If I don't maintain this pace, I will never reach the numbers necessary to create a true utopia. While Light continues his solitary crusade, the international community begins to notice a disturbing pattern. High-profile criminals across the globe are dying of sudden heart attacks. In a massive assembly hall, delegates from the ICPO gather to discuss this impossible phenomenon that threatens the global order of law.
We have recorded 52 deaths in the past week alone, every single one of them a violent criminal who died of cardiac arrest. We cannot ignore these statistics any longer. This is not a coincidence. It is a calculated, systematic slaughter that targets the very foundation of our justice systems.
But has it been verified that these are murders? How could one person possibly kill so many people across different continents simultaneously? We are looking at a logistical impossibility that defies every known investigative technique. Perhaps it is a natural phenomenon we simply do not understand yet. If this were a carefully orchestrated mass assassination, it would require resources far beyond the reach of the CIA or the FBI combined. We are facing a power that transcends national borders. We need a specialist who can handle a case of this unprecedented scope and difficulty. I believe we have no choice but to contact the one person who has solved every major international crisis in the last decade. He is our trump card, the man who remains hidden in the shadows but never fails to deliver justice when the world is at its darkest.
You are referring to L, aren't you? Some say he doesn't even exist, that he is merely a legend created by the police. But if the rumors are true, his involvement is already guaranteed, because the scale of these crimes is something he could never ignore for long. A mysterious figure in a trench coat and hat enters the hall, carrying a single laptop. This is Watari, the only person who can contact the world's greatest detective directly. The room falls silent as the laptop is placed on the podium and a single letter L appears on screen.
Good afternoon, delegates of the ICPO. This is L. The case you are currently discussing is one of unprecedented difficulty and scope. I have been investigating these cardiac arrests for several days, and I am prepared to offer my full cooperation to solve this monstrous crime together.
The person responsible for these deaths is committing a mass murder that must be stopped at all costs. I request the full cooperation of every police force worldwide. We must act as a single unit if we are to identify and capture this individual who calls himself Kira.
Hey, did you see the news? It's like everyone is glued to their phones and the TV today. All these criminals just dropping dead. It's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's pretty cool, right? I mean, they totally deserved what they got for the things they did.
Yeah, it's crazy. These criminals are finally getting what's coming to them. Even the cops couldn't stop them, but this Kira person is doing it effortlessly. Some people are even calling him a savior. It's like a real-life superhero is cleaning up the streets while we sleep.
Light walks home through the crowded city streets, listening to the murmurs of the public. He smiles inwardly, knowing that the fear he has planted is starting to bloom into a new kind of order. The world is finally starting to recognize his existence as a divine force.
You seem to be enjoying the attention, Light. Even if they don't know your face, they are all talking about you. It's funny how humans start to worship something the moment they realize they can't control it. You're becoming a god in their eyes, just like you wanted.
Until I see this through, I can't relax. The world is changing, Ryuk. Look at these websites people are already putting up. They are documenting every single death, calling me Kira, the legend who will save the world. The momentum is building faster than I ever anticipated it would.
People are starting to realize that someone is passing righteous judgment on the wicked. They might fear the power, but deep down, they are cheering because the bad guys are finally gone. I will become the god of this new world, and I will be its ultimate justice.
But isn't it true that you're just another murderer? From their perspective, you're the one committing the crime now. It's a funny little contradiction, don't you think? You kill to stop killing, yet the notebook only knows death, regardless of the reasons you have for using it.
The people who need to know already know. Criminals will live in fear, and the innocent will finally have a world where they can thrive. This is the only way to achieve true peace. I'm not a murderer. I am the hero this rotten world desperately needs.
Suddenly, a special worldwide broadcast begins, overriding every channel. A man appearing to be L sits before the camera, his face visible to millions. This is a direct challenge to Kira, a move designed to draw the mysterious killer out into the open for all to see.
I am Lind L. Taylor, also known as L. I am the sole person capable of mobilizing every police force on the planet. I am speaking to you now because your actions, Kira, are an unforgivable affront to humanity and the rule of law across the globe. What you are doing is not justice. It is a monstrous crime. You are a serial killer, nothing more, and your reign of terror ends today. I will find you, and I will ensure that you face the ultimate penalty for the lives you have stolen from this world.
How dare he call me evil? I am the one cleaning up the filth that he and the police were too weak to handle. He thinks he can sit there and judge me? This fool is about to learn exactly what happens when you oppose the new god. If you had been smarter, you could have made things interesting.
but you chose to show your face and give me your name on live television. You are just another obstacle that needs to be removed. Goodbye, Elle. This is the end of your short-lived career as a detective.
Light writes the name Lynn L. Taylor into the death note. Exactly 40 seconds later, the man on the screen clutches his chest in agony. He collapses onto the desk, his heart stopping in front of a stunned global audience. Light laughs, convinced of his total victory over Elle.
Did you see that, Ryuk? He's dead. The great Elle is dead. Anyone who tries to stop me will meet the same fate. I am invincible. There is no one left who can stand in my way or challenge the justice I am bringing to this world.
I can't believe it. It actually worked. Kira, I am speaking to you now, but the man who just died was not me. He was a criminal whose execution was scheduled for today. I used him as a body double to confirm your existence and your methods.
You can kill people without being there in person, but you need a name and a face, don't you? I have proven that you have limitations. Now try to kill me. Go ahead, kill the real Elle if you can. I'm right here, waiting for you to strike me down.
Light stands frozen in shock as the L symbol reappears on the television screen. The voice of the real Elle continues to echo, revealing that the broadcast was not worldwide, but only shown in the Kanto region of Japan. The trap has successfully narrowed Kira's location to one area.
You are in the Kanto region of Japan, Kira. It was only a matter of time before I found you, but you made it so much easier by falling for such a simple provocation. I will find you, and I will lead you to the gallows myself.
In the desolate, bone-strewn wasteland of the Shinigami realm, two death gods discuss the curious disappearance of their comrade, Ryuk. They speculate wildly about his presence in the human world, wondering if he truly dropped his death note by accident, or if he is simply seeking a temporary escape from their eternal boredom. The whispers continue as the Shinigami peer into the swirling abyss that connects their realm to Earth. They find it hard to believe Ryuk would actually want two notebooks, considering the sheer effort required to maintain them. Even among the immortals, his actions are viewed as a tedious and inexplicable nuisance.
I really need to see what the police are going to do next, because I am starting to get restless. Just taking a little break right now helps clear my mind, but the anticipation is building. Besides, I am honestly kind of tired from all the planning I have been doing lately.
Never seen you looking so listless before, Light. You are usually so focused on your work. Take a step out of the house, and all you hear about is Al and Kira. It seems like the entire world is obsessed with the game you have started playing with the authorities.
I guess it might be pretty interesting if I wasn't Kira myself. This magazine claims that Elle and Interpol were invented by the police to trick people. They are suggesting that the entire case is just a deep conspiracy designed to control the masses without any real recourse to the law.
You really should turn on the TV or the radio, because the Kira versus Elle debate is everywhere. If Kira pays too much attention to this stuff, it just stresses him out. You have to give your mind a rest once in a while, or you will lose your edge. Police are all over the world on your tail, Light. Are you sure you can afford to just chill out like this? The manhunt has reached a global scale, and even with your intellect, the pressure must be starting to get to you as they close in on your identity.
When I picked up this notebook, I made the decision to purge the world of evil. That was the reason, and I knew I could stick it out, even if the police started a manhunt. I have a certain advantage they don't see yet, which makes me completely untouchable for now.
Why do you have to lock your door, Light? It is so annoying when I want to come in. I really need some help with my homework, specifically these quadratic functions that are making my head spin. Can you please just hang on a second and let me into your room?
Oh, okay, sure. Hang on a second, Sayu. I was just in the middle of something. Just give me a moment to put my things away before you come barging in here. I will be right there to help you with whatever math problems are bothering you today.
Ta-da! Quadratic functions! I can't believe how hard these are to understand. You are so smart, so I knew you would be the only one who could explain them to me. Thanks for taking the time to help your little sister out with this boring schoolwork.
Watch out, Light. Now he tells me something crucial like that. This damn death note in your drawer, if she touches it, well, anyone who touches it can see me. You are taking a huge risk letting her in here while that book is so easily accessible to her.
Hey, you! Oh, I know. Is this why you locked your door? Hey, you were reading this magazine? Isn't it kinda dirty? I can't believe my perfect brother is looking at these kinds of articles. You are going to be a detective when you grow up, aren't you?
I was just looking at the articles about Kira and Elle. I bet you will too, Light. You really could be the top honcho at the National Police Agency if you keep studying like this. It is a noble goal, and I know you have the brains to achieve it. But that is years and years from now, if he makes it at all. That is right. I am going to be the top honcho at the NPA. Could this be the advantage he was talking about? He is playing a long game that involves infiltrating the very organization hunting him.
I am still here. Why couldn't Kira kill me that time? What are you waiting for? The task force is starting its meeting soon. Good. Link me up. I want to see every detail of the evidence they have gathered so far. It has got to be someone who knows our methods. Considering the circumstances, he definitely would have done it if he could. Because I am not a criminal. That couldn't be it, so it has got to be something else. We need to look at the timing of the deaths more closely to find the pattern we missed.
At the Special Investigation Headquarters for the criminal victim mass murder case, the tension is palpable. The police have been able to determine details regarding those believed to be victims. All of them are criminals who have died of cardiac arrest, but the sheer volume is unprecedented in Japan.
68% of the victims died on a weekday between 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. On weekends and national holidays, the time of death was scattered between 11 a.m. and about 2 a.m. The time of death, which Elle was particularly interested in finding out, shows a very specific daily schedule. So far, we have received 3,029 phone calls from the public, tip-offs mostly. There were 14 callers who claimed to be Kira or to have seen him, of which the vast majority wanted to know if the Interpol broadcast the other day was genuine, and or if Elle actually exists. We also received 21 calls from people claiming to be Kira. Yeah, right. Not wanting to rule out any possibility, however slight, we took statements from each one and have them on file. Next, if you have noticed anything or have a question, go ahead and speak up.
There has been a dramatic decrease in the number of violent crimes committed worldwide, especially in Japan. This is in no way meant to give credit to Kira, but, well, in the past few days, it is a fact that criminals are terrified of his judgment.
I feel like we're getting a little closer. Thank you. Now, I have another request for you, if you don't mind. I would like you to investigate once more how the victims were reported in the Japanese media, specifically looking for photographs or footage of the criminals who died. Namely, I want to know if reports included photographs or footage showing the faces of the criminals who later died. This is for the squads in charge of victims, media, and the internet. Thank you for your help. Every piece of data is vital for narrowing down our suspect.
Everyone else, continue with the investigation or go home and get some sleep, as you wish. Meeting's over. All right, 2 teams on the night shift. We cannot afford to let our guard down for even a moment while Kira is still at large and killing.
Chief, are you heading home? You bet. Pulled another all-nighter yesterday. Of course, it would have been a problem if you said crimes have been decreasing thanks to Kira, so let's honor him for that. When I said that, I am sure it's something everyone's noticed.
What are you talking about? Facts are facts and they need to be laid out on the table. All the more so if they are hard to bring up. I would never say that, sir. Honor that psychopath? But maybe I shouldn't have said it? We must remain objective.
Look, did you really get it? Gosh, you're such a math whiz. Well, sort of. Oh, that must be Dad. He's home early today. After dinner, okay? Hey, at least solve the last problem by yourself. Light, saw you. It's dinner time. Come downstairs.
Thanks. Finally. home. It feels like I haven't seen this place in daylight for a week. The Kira case is draining everyone, but seeing my family is the only thing that keeps me going during these dark times. I just need a moment to sit down and breathe. How's school going, Light? Yup, top of the class as usual. You can count on Light. Same as usual, Dad. It is a wild goose chase, this case. Well, this case is a hard one, to put it mildly. But the person in charge of the investigation did say today, judging from the estimated time of death, the killer is probably a student. Why not? We've had cases before where ideas from Light helped us move the investigation forward. I really don't think this is a subject for the dinner table. It is too grim for a family meal.
Sayu, was that all the help you needed? What, already? I'm done. Yeah, thanks. Gee, Light, thanks a lot for blabbing. Was Light helping you do your homework again, Sayu? You know I never clean your room. You've been doing it yourself since starting high school.
So, they've already narrowed it down to a student in the Kanto region of Japan, Light. Now I can use the death note at a different level. If I write heart attack as the cause, it will happen. If the cause of death is not specified, the person will die. After writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Correct, Ryuk. I think you're going to enjoy what happens next. I am going to show L exactly how much control I really have over life and death.
There were 23 heart attack victims again yesterday? What? 3 days later. Died exactly 1 hour apart from each other. And all 23 of them, just like the day before, they were all prison inmates. So we'd know immediately they died.
Looks like it might not be a student after all. Come on, anybody could skip school for a couple days. 2 days in a row, and both of those were weekdays. That isn't it. It's true he might not be a student, but that isn't what Kira's trying to tell us.
He's free to set the time of death as he pleases. What Kira's saying is also that he has some way of getting information known only to the police. And this is clearly a challenge directed at me. He is showing me that he can kill anyone, anytime.
Ryuk, you have to understand that this situation is becoming quite precarious. Anyone who touches the death note gains the ability to see your terrifying form, and that is a massive problem for my security. I cannot simply walk around with a supernatural entity following me like a shadow without consequences.
I suppose you are right, Light. You certainly cannot pass me off as a normal human friend or an average schoolmate. My appearance is a bit much for your world, isn't it? I don't think you came to this desolate place just to enjoy the gloomy, dark ambience.
Exactly. If my sister or any other member of my family were to catch even a brief glimpse of your face, they would likely have a heart attack on the spot. I need to ensure that the death note is hidden where no one will ever accidentally find it.
As the fire of ambition burns within Light Yagami, the battle of wits between the self-proclaimed god and the world's greatest detective begins to intensify. The current state of affairs is a delicate balance of hidden identities and strategic moves played out in the shadows of Tokyo.
From the estimated time of the victims' deaths, I previously informed the task force that there was a very strong possibility that Kira was a student. The schedule of the killings lined up perfectly with school hours, suggesting a routine that was far too specific to be a coincidence.
And then, as if he were mocking my deduction, the very next day Kira eliminated 23 prisoners at intervals of exactly 1 hour. He did the same thing again the following day, completely shattering the initial profile I had carefully built regarding his daily routine and social status.
Does that mean he actually managed to dupe me? Until then, I was convinced that Kira was setting the time of death to lead me to the conclusion that the perpetrator was a student. It seems he is much more capable of manipulation than I had originally anticipated.
What is Kira's real aim in letting me know that he can control the time of death? Is he trying to show off his power, or is there a deeper strategy involved? The bigger issue is that Kira has some way of obtaining information that should be known only to the task force.
I have to do something about the fact that police information is leaking to Kira. If he can see our every move, we are at a severe disadvantage. Watari, it is me. Please leave the task force office for a moment. I need you to go somewhere else.
Go to a location where the police cannot see or hear you and establish a secure link with the director of the FBI. We need to investigate the people involved in this case from the outside, beyond the reach of the Japanese National Police Agency's current internal surveillance. I need some very specific items for my plan. This home improvement store should have everything required to build a hiding place that no one will ever find. I want to hide the Death Note in my room where I can easily access it and put it back safely.
If L wants to catch Kira, he will need a confession from me or the physical evidence of the Death Note itself. By now, L is likely starting to suspect the people involved in the investigation. He will look at every detail, so I must stay several steps ahead.
You seem quite confident, Light, but why did you deliberately make him realize you were a student? Isn't it a lot worse to have him realize you have a link to the cops? Now he's going to have the FBI breathing down the necks of everyone in the department.
Remember what I told you about human beings, Ryuk. They are foolish, two-faced creatures. In human society, there are very few people who truly trust each other. By showing L that I have access to police records, I am sowing the seeds of distrust within the investigation itself. L will use the NPA to look for me, but when that happens, it will just be a matter of time before the police get really mad at him. I want to find L and eliminate him. If all goes well, I can hide the book and let them destroy themselves. On the face of it, L and the police are working together to catch me. However, behind the scenes, L will be spying on the police to find the leak. I am positive that the one who is going to have the police closing in on him first is L, not Kira.
The police will take care of that part for me. They will track down L because they won't stand for being investigated by an outsider. Once L is forced into the open to defend his actions, that is when I will finally be able to eliminate him.
What the hell is this? Exactly what it says, a letter of resignation. This is the Special Investigation Headquarters, and my men are quitting. They are terrified that Kira will find out their identities and kill them just like he did with those criminals on the televised news. But why? Why now? You're either putting me on another case, sir, or I leave the NPA. If I can't do that, I value my life too much to stay here. According to L's reasoning, Kira uses some paranormal means to kill people without having any direct contact with them. If I were Kira, I'd try to get rid of the people who were trying to catch me, because if we catch him, he gets the death sentence. It is a logical survival instinct. These men have families and lives they want to protect from an invisible, supernatural killer. Remember that time he pulled the stunt with the televised broadcast? L dared Kira to kill him on live television, and Kira took the bait. He wanted to know if photographs or footage showing their faces were included in the reports, because he needs a face to kill. But L never announced his name or even showed his face in that broadcast. In other words, unlike L, we all do our work carrying police IDs with our real names and photographs right there on them. We are sitting ducks for someone with Kira's unknown lethal abilities. Well, they were right. Every single victim so far was someone whose face was shown in the Japanese media reports. Kira could get us any time, and that's why we're requesting a transfer, sir. We cannot continue this investigation under these suicidal conditions without any protection.
So they're sitting ducks while L just leaves Watari here and talks to us through his computer. They're right when you think about it. The pressure is mounting and the cracks in the police force are beginning to widen, just as Kira had intended from the very start.
That was easier than I thought it would be. You managed to hide the notebook? Yep. Does that count as a hiding place? It's hidden inside this drawer, Ryuk, but it is not just sitting there. It is protected by a mechanism that only I know how to navigate. I can just keep the key in there. It's better to hide it in some obvious-looking place like this. Most people would probably just read this diary with its boring descriptions of what I do every day and think that's what I was keeping under lock and key. But that's not the Death Note. It's just a plain old diary. On the underside of the drawer is a tiny hole that you wouldn't notice unless you were looking for it. You stick the ink cartridge of a ballpoint pen into the hole to trigger the secret latch.
I get it now. The drawer has a false bottom. This is why you spent so much time at that store, picking out a board and matching the wood grain. Even if they suspect the drawer has a false bottom, they'll never be able to just lift it out.
With that diary as a decoy, and this, they'll find the notebook. The ink cartridge is plastic, so it doesn't conduct electricity. Unless you stick it in here, a current will pass through this and ignite the gasoline in this thin plastic bag. It's a failsafe.
In other words, unless you open it exactly like this, when I close the false bottom, this rubber here goes between the metal pieces, so it replaces the ink cartridge as the insulator, and the current stays interrupted. It is a perfect circuit that only my pen can break. If they question why I went to all this trouble, I just have to say that was my real diary, and I didn't want anyone to see it. That's the most human of reasons, and there will be the remains of a notebook in there, after all. Everything will burn.
The notebook goes up in flames and all the evidence is completely destroyed. If you turn the drawer over or force the cover open, the moment you do that, I'd heard that when humans get hold of a death note, it becomes their #1 headache. You're different, Light. Still, talk about playing with fire, Light. If you make even a little mistake opening this, you'll burn yourself really bad. I'd hardly call this playing, Ryuk. And anyway, each of those risks actually helped make me safer in the long run. I've been playing with fire from the start.
Taking all kinds of risks is what keeps me sharp. What's better, having a small fire in the house or getting the death penalty? Huh? The choice is obvious to me. I will do whatever it takes to protect my secret and continue my work as Kira.
Yes, that's right. I'm requesting that you conduct a thorough, top-secret probe of all NPA personnel involved in the Kira case, as well as their close friends and families. The number of American criminals believed to be Kira's victims is 327. That's by far the most worldwide. But we're already putting a lot of manpower into this case. Are you suggesting one of them may be Kira? Yes. In fact, I'm sure of it. And please do the best you can. We have to stop Kira as soon as we can. All right, we'll do as you ask.
The person in possession of the Death Note is possessed by a god of death, its original owner, until they die. If a human uses the note, a god of death usually appears in front of him or her within 39 days after he or she uses the note for the first time. Gods of death, the original owners of the Death Note, do not do, in principle, anything which will help or prevent the deaths in the note. A god of death has no obligation to completely explain how to use the note, or rules which will apply to the human owner.
Watari, the FBI has officially commenced its probe into the NPA. I have received a comprehensive list of all 141 personnel working on this case. Somewhere within this group, or perhaps very close to one of them, Kira is hiding. I am absolutely certain of it.
Among the names on L's list is Soichiro Yagami, the head of the investigation, along with his family members Sachiko, Sayu, and Light. Unknown to the police, Light Yagami is exactly who the detective is looking for, a genius teenager walking the line between hero and mass murderer.
I told you before, Ryuk, you must not talk to me when we are outside of my room. People cannot hear your voice, but they can see me talking to thin air. At this prep academy, any strange behavior will be noticed and reported, which complicates my plans.
Light, you have to understand that I am neither on your side nor El Sol's side in this conflict. I am merely a spectator in this game. Whether you succeed in creating your new world or get caught by the authorities makes no difference to me at all.
I already knew that, Ryuk. I never expected a Shinigami to be a loyal ally or a friend. You are here because you are bored, and I am here because I have a purpose. As long as our interests align, I will continue to use the notebook.
It is just that something has been bugging me personally for the last couple of days. I am always hovering behind you, so I noticed it right away. This guy has been following every single step you take since you left your house this morning, Light. Look back.
He does not see me, of course, but I can feel like I am being watched. It is a persistent, heavy sensation that I cannot shake. If L is already sending agents to follow students, then he is much more aggressive than I initially anticipated in my calculations. That man behind us looks like a serious college-bound senior, or perhaps a young professional. It is a pain in the butt, but I will get rid of him soon enough, Ryuk. I cannot allow anyone to tail me while I am carrying the notebook. I am home. Obviously, he hasn't entered my room yet. L must have realized that Kira had access to information known only to the task force, so now he suspects someone in the NPA. My father is at the head of that very force, which puts me under scrutiny. So first, I better find out who L is using to probe the NPA. He wouldn't use the Japanese police to investigate themselves, so he must have brought in outsiders. It has only been 6 days since the leak, yet I have been followed for 2 days already. Let's say they have 50 people probing the NPA. The likelihood of me being suspected is low, but there are too many other suspects for me to be complacent. I need to find out what my shadow's name is. If I can do that, everything is under control.
So, what is the best way of getting his name without raising his suspicions, Light? You're in a really talkative mood today. Do you know why Shinigami write people's names into these notebooks? There are 2 big differences between Shinigami and humans who have a death note. It is because Shinigami get extra life from humans. Let's say you have someone whose natural lifetime is 60 years. If a Shinigami writes their name to die at 40, those 20 years of human world time get added on to the Shinigami's own lifespan. It is quite efficient.
Extra life? I have seen Shinigami who died naturally, though. Those who sat around doing nothing, living for centuries without remembering to write down a single human name. Well, we are gods of a sort, after all, and most of us have just become incredibly lazy.
Unless they are really lazy, you can shoot them through the head or knife them in the heart, and a Shinigami won't die. But anyway, Shinigami these days don't have feelings like, I don't like this human, or let's make the human world a better place. They just don't want to die, so they get life from humans, and then they just go on with their own empty lives. Nobody even knows what we're here for anymore. The realm of the Shinigami has really gone to the dogs these days. It is quite pathetic.
A Shinigami like you comes down once in 100 years. No, once in 1,000 years. And the human world is totally transformed. Your existence, the realm of the Shinigami, it is so meaningful. It's scary. And that is true in any age. You're a real fool, Ryuk. If the place is really as gone to the dogs as you say, how about making some changes when you go back? You know, apply some of what you're seeing here. Of course I am an optimist. I wouldn't have thought I could make the world a better place otherwise.
Light, I think you might actually be a real positive thinker. That's the first big difference between a Shinigami and a human with a death note. But if you write humans' names into the death note, you won't get any extensions on your own lifespan. That is the rule. This isn't about extending your lifespan, though. It's about shortening it. To choose which humans we'll write into our notebooks, we Shinigami look down on the human world from our realm. We have something called Shinigami eyes that make the process much easier for us.
The unlucky bastard who is possessed by a Shinigami. But usually it's just whoever your eye happens to land on. So how do we know the person's name just by looking at them? Well, a Shinigami's eyes can see a human's name and lifespan over their head.
Yeah, that's why Shinigami always know the name of the person they're killing, and how much extra life they'll get if they kill them. Our eyes are different. That's the biggest difference between you and me, Light. I can see everything about that man following you right now. There is a deal that traditionally, Shinigami who drop their death note can only make with the human who picks it up, which will give that human a Shinigami's eyes. The price of a Shinigami's eyes is half of that human's remaining lifetime. That is the cost. Yeah, so if you have 50 years left, that's 25. If you have 1 year left, it's 6 months. Of course, I can see your name and lifespan right now, Light. It is written right above your head in the air for me to see clearly.
93312639. I see. If I convert it to human world time, I know exactly how many years you have left, but I would never tell you what that is. No, that is one of the rules of the Shinigami realm.
And since you aren't on Kira's side or L's side, even if you see the name of the person I want to kill, you aren't going to tell me what it is. In other words, this deal was invented to help humans who've picked up Death Notes. I ought to tell you, this deal has no advantages for the Shinigami. I can extend my life using anybody, and with those, I can look at anyone and know what their name is. Give me half of your remaining lifetime, and you can have a Shinigami's eyes.
A god of death can extend his life by putting human names on the note, but humans cannot. A person can shorten his or her own life by using the note. The human who becomes the owner can, in exchange for half of his/her remaining life, get the eyeballs.
In the shadows of a mundane world, a terrifying power takes root. Light Yagami, a genius burdened by the boredom of perfection, stands beside the monstrous Shinigami Ryuk. The deal is simple, yet heavy. Half of his remaining life for the eyes of a god, eyes that see every name and every lifespan.
The temptation is there, Ryuk. To see the face of every criminal and know their name instantly would be a power beyond measure. But this deal of yours, it is out of the question. I intend to reign over my new world for a very long time, and I won't sacrifice my future.
You're a stubborn one, Light. Most humans would crawl through glass for that kind of vision. You talk about creating a criminal for utopia, yet you refuse the one tool that would make it effortless. Tell me, how long do you really think you can survive this game without those eyes?
My lifespan is my own, and I will not gamble it away. If I am to be the god of this world, I must have the patience to build it properly. Besides, if I'm clever enough, I won't need your eyes to uncover the identities of those who oppose me.
Just remember, the deal is always on the table. You can make the trade anytime you like, as long as you possess the Death Note. I only told you now because I didn't want to hear you belly aching later that I kept secrets from you. Don't say I never did anything for you.
Ryuk watches the boy, fascinated. Most humans tremble at the sight of a Shinigami, yet Light treats him like a nuisance. The boy's arrogance is refreshing, even to a creature of death. He wonders just how far this human will go before the weight of the notebook finally breaks his spirit.
Is there anything else you haven't mentioned, Ryuk? Any other deals or hidden rules I should be aware of? I don't like surprises, especially when they involve the mechanics of how I'm supposed to cleanse this world. Tell me everything now, or don't expect me to keep entertaining you with my work.
I suppose if you wanted wings to fly through the skies like a god, that would be a dream humans have had since antiquity. But alas, sprouting wings isn't part of the package. People would notice a flying teenager, and the police would catch you in no time. That's probably for the best.
I was joking, Ryuk. I don't need wings to be a god. But your point is taken. If I started acting like a supernatural creature, it would only make me easier to track. I'll remain a human in appearance while I conduct the business of a deity from the safety of my room.
You're already a fine Shinigami in spirit, Light. If you keep cutting deals and obsessing over names and faces, you might just find yourself turning into one of us sooner than you think. But hey, don't let me stop you. I'm just here for the apples and the show.
Don't lump me in with you. I'm working much harder than any Shinigami. I've already figured out the identity of the man who is tailing me today. It's only a matter of time before I use him to get to the rest of them. I have plenty of time and plenty of names. First, I need to test how far I can go with the details of death. If I write the cause and the actions leading up to it, will the notebook obey? Within the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds, I will know if I can manipulate my victims like puppets before they expire.
What is going on? Another 6 heart attacks in the prison? This isn't just Kira anymore. This is a systematic slaughter. Every single one of them. dead at the exact same time. It's as if he's mocking us, showing us that he can kill whoever he wants, whenever he wants.
Sir, we've got a problem. One of the victims, a man named Masaaki Shirami, didn't just have a heart attack. Before he died, he used his own blood to draw a strange symbol on the wall of his cell, and he left a note, a suicide note that makes no sense at all.
A 5-pointed star drawn in blood, and a note expressing a fear of Kira. This is unusual. Kira has always been direct, killing with heart attacks. Why the sudden shift into the occult? Why would a criminal draw a pentagram unless he was being forced to do so by someone else?
Kira is experimenting. He is testing the limits of his power to see if he can control the actions of his victims before they die. The pentagram, the note, they aren't messages from the dead. They are data points for a murderer who is learning how to use his weapon.
Treating human beings like lab rats, it's abominable. If Kira is using these criminals to test his abilities, then he's even more depraved than we imagined. We have to stop him before he moves from prisoners to the general public. This is a level of manipulation we haven't seen.
Look at this, Ryuk. My father's computer shows exactly what I expected. The heart attacks happened, but the impossible scenarios did not. The man who was supposed to die in front of the Eiffel Tower died in his cell. The notebook can't make someone do something that is physically impossible for them.
It means I can't force someone to fly to Paris if they are locked in a Japanese prison. The death note only works if the actions are within the victim's reach. But within those limits, I have absolute control. I can make them write notes, draw symbols, or even deliver messages for me.
So the impossible deaths just defaulted to heart attacks. That's actually pretty clever of you to figure out. You've basically mapped out the boundaries of your power. But what's the point of all this? Why waste time with these little experiments when you could just kill L?
Because L is smart, Ryuk. He'll notice the notes and the symbols. He'll think he's found a clue, but in reality, I'm just leading him into a maze. While he's busy analyzing these unusual deaths, I'll be moving my real pieces into place. He's about to become very, very busy.
Lord have mercy. Do what I can. You know it. Killed by Kira. I know about him. When you take the first letter of each sentence in these messages, it forms a hidden phrase. Kira is speaking to me through the dead. He wants me to know that he is aware of my investigation.
Saturday morning, the perfect time to check the results of my latest test. According to the news, a robber at a convenience store was stabbed by an employee acting in self-defense. That was my doing. I wrote that he would be killed by someone else, not a heart attack. It worked perfectly. This means I can dictate the cause of death as long as it's plausible. I'm no longer limited to heart attacks. The world will see Kira as an omnipresent force that can strike in any form. Now for the main event. Kiichiro Osoreda. He's the key. I'm actually quite popular with the ladies, Ryuk. You might be surprised. This phone call is just the beginning of a very carefully orchestrated plan. I'll need a witness, someone innocent to verify my story when I finally confront the man who is following me. Everything is ready.
The rules of death are absolute. The conditions for death will not be realized unless they are physically possible or reasonably assumed to be carried out by that human. Even the gods of death do not know the full extent of these rules. Light Yagami is venturing into the unknown. A skeletal engine sits in the darkness, signaling a shift in the deadly game. Chapter 7, Target. Light Yagami has decided to stop hiding and start hunting his pursuer. The plan is set, and the pieces are moving toward a confrontation that will determine the fate of the investigation.
Are you serious about this, Light? You're actually going on a date while an FBI agent is following your every move? It seems like a strange time for romance, but I suppose you have something up your sleeve. Just don't forget that this isn't a game for ordinary humans.
It isn't a date, Ryuk. It is a calculated move. This morning, I wrote Kiichiro Osureda's name in the death note, detailing a bus hijacking. The man tailing me will have no choice but to intervene. In the chaos, I will force him to reveal his identity to me.
I see. You are using a criminal's death to smoke out your shadow, but how can you be sure the agent won't see through it? Humans are unpredictable when they are under pressure. You're risking a lot just to get a name, but it is certainly making things interesting.
He won't suspect a thing because I'll be a victim just like everyone else. Watch closely, Ryuk. My classmate Yuri is arriving now. She is the perfect cover for this outing. We will board the bus to Spaceland, and my shadow will follow us right into the trap.
Light Yagami, son of Chief Soichiro Yagami. He seems like a perfectly normal, high-achieving student. He's heading to an amusement park on a date. There is no reason to suspect him of being Kira, yet I must follow him one last time to be absolutely certain of his innocence.
The bus arrives, and the trap is set. Light and Yuri board, followed closely by the unsuspecting Ray Pember. Among the passengers sits a man with a dark purpose, oblivious to the fact that his every action has already been scripted by a boy with a supernatural notebook.
The bus is moving now. There are 7 passengers total, spaced out just as I planned. Everything is going perfectly. In a few moments, the final piece of the puzzle will board the bus, and the hijacking will begin. The FBI won't know what hit them today.
This is the bus. He's here, just like the voice said. I need to get on and take control. My life depends on following the instructions I found. This is my only way out of the mess I've made. It's time to show these people who is in charge.
Don't move. This bus has just been hijacked, ladies and gentlemen. I have a gun, and I'm not afraid to use it. If anyone tries to be a hero, I'll blow their head off. Driver, keep your hands where I can see them and do exactly what I say.
Please, just take whatever you want. I'm just doing my job. Don't hurt anyone. I'll follow your orders. Just put the gun away. We can talk about this. There's no need for violence. Tell me where you want us to go, and I'll drive the bus there.
Shut up and drive. You know the Spaceland phone number, don't you? Use your radio and tell them what's happening. Tell them I want the money they made yesterday brought to the Yuhihara bus stop. If I see a single cop, I'll start killing passengers one by one.
This is Sasaki, driver of bus 124. The bus has been hijacked by a man with a gun. He is demanding the revenue from Spaceland. He says he will kill everyone if his demands aren't met. Please send help, but don't let him see any police cars nearby.
Give me that. Now listen to me. I want a car waiting for me at the stop, and the money delivered by a woman. Nobody else. If I suspect anything, I'll kill every single person on this bus. Do you hear me? Don't try to be smart with the cops.
Don't worry, Yuri. It will be okay. I'm going to find a way to stop him. My father is a detective, and he taught me what to do in emergencies like this. Just stay calm and trust me. I have a plan to grab his arm and pin him down.
Light begins writing a note, pretending to coordinate an attack with Yuri. It is a calculated performance designed to draw out the FBI agent. He knows that a professional lawman cannot stand by while a student risks his life in a suicidal attempt to stop a gunman.
Stop. It's too dangerous, kid. Let me take care of this. You're just a student. You don't know what you're doing. This man is unstable and armed. If you try anything now, you'll just get yourself and everyone else killed. Stay in your seat and keep your head down.
Who are you? Why should I listen to you? You've been following us since we left the station. Are you an accomplice? If you're not with him, then prove it. I won't just sit here and die because some stranger told me to stay still and wait.
I am not his accomplice. I am an American, though my mother was Japanese. I can't tell you everything, but you have to trust me. I am here on business, and I have the means to handle this. Just don't do anything reckless that would force his hand right now.
If you're not a criminal, then show me some proof. If you're really who you say you are, you must have an ID. If you won't show it, I'll have to assume you're part of this hijacking and take my chances. Choose now, or I'm going to move.
Fine, if it will keep you from doing something stupid. I'm with the FBI. We are here investigating the Kira case. Here is my ID. Now that you know the truth, you must follow my orders. Keep your voice down and don't let the hijacker see us talking.
Ray Pember, so that is your name. An FBI agent, I see. I'll stay calm then. But look, he's coming this way. He's looking for something. We have to do something before he realizes we are plotting against him. What is your move, Agent Pember? Give us a signal.
Yes, I am Ray Pember. I'm here to help, but you need to be patient. If he thinks we're communicating, he'll open fire. Just stay still and wait for the bus to stop. The police will have the area surrounded, and we will find a way to disarm him.
Oops, I dropped my notes. I'm so sorry. I was just so nervous. I didn't mean to make a mess. Please don't be mad. It's just some things for my date at Spaceland. I'll pick them up right now, I promise. Just don't hurt me.
Hey, what are you doing back there? Passing notes? Trying to be a little smartass, aren't you? Give me that paper right now. I want to see what you're trying to hide from me. If this is a message to the police, you're both dead meat. What the hell is this? Just a scrap of paper from a notebook? Wait, what is that thing standing behind you? There's a monster on this bus. A giant black-winged monster with bulging eyes. Why can't anyone else see it? Stay back! Stay away from me, you demon!
It looks like someone finally noticed me. That's the rule. If you touch the notebook or a piece of it, you can see the Shinigami. This guy looks like he's about to lose his mind. Humans really can't handle the sight of a death god, can they?
Don't come any closer. I'll shoot. I'll kill you. Why won't you die? I'm hitting you right in the chest, but the bullets are just passing through. This isn't real. It's a hallucination. I have to get out of here before this thing eats my soul.
Sorry, dude. I'm a Shinigami, so that isn't going to kill me. Bullets don't work on gods. But please, keep going. This is the best entertainment I've had in a long time. Watching a human struggle against the inevitable is always a treat for someone like me.
He's out of bullets. This is our chance. Everyone, stay down. He's losing his mind and running for the door. Driver, open the door and let him out. We need to get him away from the passengers before he does something even more desperate or finds another weapon.
Get me out of here. Stop the bus. I need to escape that monster. I don't care about the money anymore. Just let me go. I can't stay in here with that thing watching me. Open the damn door right now, or I'll break the glass.
Osureda bursts out of the bus, his mind shattered by the vision of the Shinigami. He runs blindly into the street, fueled by a primal fear. He does not see the car approaching at high speed, fulfilling the final command Light wrote into the Death Note earlier that morning.
Exactly as planned. Osureda is dead by a traffic accident, and I have successfully obtained the name of the man trailing me, Ray Pember. You were a worthy adversary, but you made the mistake of revealing your identity to Kira. Now your fate is sealed.
In the aftermath of the chaos, the passengers are shaken but safe. To them, it was a miracle or a mental breakdown. To Light, it was a precise surgical strike. The identity of the FBI agent is now his, and the next phase can begin.
You know, Light, you're pretty terrifying for a human. You use that guy's life like a disposable tool just to get a name. And now you're going back to playing the perfect student? I think I'm going to enjoy watching how this ends. You're truly something else.
The city street remains eerily silent after the chaotic conclusion of the bus jacking. A lone figure lies motionless on the cold asphalt, a grim testament to the invisible hand of Kira. Bystanders gather in shock, their eyes reflecting a fear that no common criminal could ever hope to instill.
Look, Ray, I understand the weight of your secret mission. Being an FBI agent in Japan must be incredibly taxing. I want you to know that your secret is safe with me. I won't even mention this to my father, the chief. We both want justice for the innocent people.
I appreciate your discretion, Light. This mission is highly sensitive, And if the Japanese police were to find out about our presence, it would cause a diplomatic nightmare. I must leave before the authorities arrive to start questioning everyone near this bus. Stay safe, and please keep this quiet.
Everything is proceeding exactly as I calculated in my head. By involving an FBI agent in a public incident, I have successfully verified his identity without drawing any suspicion to myself. L thinks he is hunting me, but he is actually providing me with the keys to destroy him.
That accident seemed far too convenient to be real, didn't it? The hijacker dying of a heart attack right after the incident feels like Kira's signature. I can't help but feel that we were being watched by something far more dangerous than a common criminal during that entire bus ride.
Ray returns to the safety of his hotel room, the weight of the day's events pressing heavily upon his shoulders. He uses his keycard, unaware that the simple act of entering his sanctuary marks the beginning of the end for his career and his very life in this game.
You seem completely drained, Ray. Did something happen during your investigation today that you aren't telling me? You look like you've seen a ghost. Please talk to me. I know I'm not in the bureau anymore, but my sharp instincts are telling me that something is fundamentally wrong here.
It was just a simple bus jacking, Naomi. A criminal took control of the vehicle, but then he suddenly ran out and was hit by a car. It was a chaotic mess, and I'm just tired from the paperwork and the stress of maintaining my cover in a public place.
A criminal dying of a heart attack or a sudden accident is exactly how Kira operates. If that man was the one who hijacked the bus and then he died immediately after, it's a huge coincidence. I think Kira was actually on that bus with you today, Ray.
That's a bold claim, Naomi. Do you think Kira would risk being in the middle of a bus jacking just to eliminate a low-level thug? I saw everyone on that bus, and they all seemed like ordinary people. You're overthinking this because of your past experience with the FBI.
Listen, you aren't an agent anymore. You're here as my fiancé, and I need you to stay out of this investigation for your own safety. Kira is extremely dangerous, and I won't have you putting yourself in his crosshairs. Let me handle the difficult fieldwork alone tonight.
So you've managed to find out the agent's name, and now you're planning to use him to get to the rest. You're a lot more devious than I thought, Light. Most humans would be satisfied with just one kill, but you're aiming for the whole group of agents.
This is about more than just one agent, Ryuk. I need to eliminate the entire FBI presence in Japan to show L that I am untouchable. I'll use another criminal in jail to test L's reactions while I prepare the final stroke against the remaining investigators in Japan.
In his secluded room, L stares at the monitors, his mind racing through the latest developments. A new suicide note has surfaced, one that carries a cryptic message specifically intended for him. The game of cat and mouse has taken a dark, theological turn in the deep shadows.
Another victim has left behind a note. This time, it's not just a confession or a plea for forgiveness. It's a direct communication. Kira is changing his methods, becoming more bold and experimental. Watari, I need you to scan this and send the high-resolution files to me immediately.
Gods of Death. Kira is suggesting that Shinigami exist. He is trying to give me a clue, or perhaps he is just mocking my attempts to find a rational explanation for these heart attacks. Either way, he wants me to know that I am dealing with something truly supernatural.
Is Kira trying to give me some kind of hint, or is this just a distraction? He's leaving a trail of breadcrumbs that lead directly to the concept of death gods. Watari, have the police keep a very close watch on all the prisons. Something big is happening right now.
This is impossible. 4 FBI agents, all dead of heart attacks within the same hour. This can't be a coincidence. Kira has moved beyond criminals and is now targeting the very people sent to stop him. We are dealing with an unprecedented level of calculated and cold-blooded violence. The atmosphere in the National Police Agency is thick with dread as the reality of the situation sinks in. The investigators realize that no one is safe, and the protection of a badge means nothing against the power of Kira. The hunt has become a slaughterhouse for the authorities.
Director, I've just received the report. 12 agents were sent to Japan, and now you're telling me that 8 of them are confirmed dead? This is a catastrophe. Kira has somehow managed to identify them and strike before we could even begin our joint operation properly in this country.
I tried to reach all 12, but the silence on the other end of those lines tells the whole story. Kira got to them. There is no other explanation for such a coordinated strike against international agents. He found their weakness and exploited it with a terrifying level of efficiency. Was there anyone who had access to the faces and names of all 12 agents? The FBI director says a request came in for that exact file yesterday. Kira didn't just stumble upon them. He orchestrated a data breach to ensure he had every single target in his sight. If Kira could control the agents' actions before they died, he could have forced one of them to download the file and send it to him. This means Kira's power is not just killing, it's total manipulation. He turned our own security measures against us with a flawless execution.
The FBI is terminating its investigation in Japan. They've lost too many good people, and the political pressure is too high. We are on our own now. Kira has successfully driven away the world's most powerful intelligence agency with just a few strokes of his supernatural pen. Elle, I just got a call from the task force. They're saying the FBI was actually probing us. You were investigating the very people who are trying to help you? How can we trust a detective who treats his own allies like potential murderers and common criminals? The task force members are erupting in anger as the truth of Elle's secret surveillance comes to light. They feel betrayed, their loyalty questioned by the very man they looked up to. The bridge of trust between the police and Elle is crumbling rapidly under the pressure.
Another suicide note has arrived. Love I've never known. I'm better off dead. And then the final line, damn you, Kira. He's taunting me through the voices of the dead. This isn't just a battle of wits anymore. It's a personal war for the soul of justice.
Ray is dead. No, he was murdered by Kira. The snow falls over the city like a cold shroud, but it cannot hide the truth that I feel deep in my bones. He was doing his job, and now he is gone, leaving me alone on this bridge.
If Kira can control his victims' actions right before they die, he used that power to get the file of all 12 FBI agents. He first needed to know their faces. The key is not the time of death, but the specific order of the files.
There is no point in hiding it from the family anymore. You will likely find out through the news eventually, so I am telling you this now. All 12 FBI agents sent to Japan to assist in the Kira case were found dead yesterday morning.
What do you mean they were all killed? Does that mean Kira is even more dangerous than the police originally thought? This is terrifying, Dad. If he can take out 12 federal agents at once, no one involved in the investigation is truly safe.
Morale is low among the detectives. Many are quitting the case out of fear for their lives. I cannot blame them, but I will not succumb to this evil. I am seeing this through to the end, regardless of the personal risk involved.
Dad, I am so proud of you for standing your ground. If anything happens to you, I will make sure Kira gets the death penalty. I swear it on my life. You have my full support in this fight for justice and peace.
You really are something else, Light. That performance was incredible. You killed those agents yourself, yet you look your father in the eye and promise to catch the murderer. You truly deserve an Academy Award for that heartless display of acting. Wow, this is a lot of humans. Are you really going to do it here, Light? In the middle of Shinjuku Station, during the busiest time of the day? It seems risky, even for someone with your level of confidence and planning.
I have done a lot of research. If I write the cause of death and the details, the person dies that way. This is the perfect place to test the limits of the Death Note while ensuring my own anonymity among the crowd.
I am Kira. If you turn around or stick your hands in your pockets, I will kill you instantly. You have heard my voice before, Ray Pemder. Do exactly as I say if you want to see tomorrow or protect your loved ones.
Is this a joke? No, that voice. It sounds familiar. My heart is racing. If this person is truly Kira, I have no choice but to follow his instructions. I cannot risk a confrontation in such a crowded public space like this.
See that coffee shop over there? The man in the glasses will die of a heart attack in exactly 2 minutes. Watch carefully. This is the demonstration of my power that you need to understand that I am not bluffing.
He actually died. It was just like he said. This is impossible, yet it happened right before my eyes. This man really is Kira. The power he wields is beyond anything I ever imagined during my time in the FBI.
I expect you have heard from Elle that I cannot kill someone unless I know what they look like. That is true, but I can kill your entire family as well. Now, take this transceiver and the envelope I am holding.
Enter the Yamanote Line train and take a corner seat by the door. Do not ever forget that I can kill you at any time. I will be watching you from close by, so keep your eyes forward and follow my lead.
How many FBI agents are in Japan? I need to know their organization and who their commander is. Do not try to lie to me. I already know more than you think.
I heard there are 4 teams, a total of 12 agents. I do not have the names of everyone on the other teams. Why are you asking me this? You already killed so many of us yesterday. What more do you want?
There is a glitch between the chief's computer and yours. It is faster if it goes through someone else's computer first. Open the envelope. Inside, you'll find 5 smaller envelopes. Take them all out and prepare to write. Make sure each name is spelled correctly. If I find any mistakes, you know what will happen. Look at the file you just received on your screen and write every name in the slots of the envelope. Do not stop.
So he is going to kill all the agents I am writing down. I have to do what he says, or the woman and my family will be killed. I am a cold-blooded killing now, obeying his instructions just to survive.
Sit back down and stay on this train for at least 30 minutes. Put all 5 envelopes back into the larger one and place it on the overhead rack. Then you may leave. Do not move until I tell you.
Wait, why can't I remember whose voice this is? My chest, it hurts so much. Damn you, Kira. You played me until the very end. I can't breathe. Everything is fading to black as the train pulls into the station. I can't stay standing. The world is spinning. I see someone standing there. Is that him? Is that the monster who did this to me? I can't even call for help as I fall to the floor.
Goodbye, Ray Penber. You were a useful tool for my plans, but your journey ends here on this cold platform. Watch me as the doors close. I am the god of the new world, and you are history.
All the FBI agents have acted the same way and died of heart attacks after receiving the file. The order they received the files appeared random, but it was a calculated step by Kira to eliminate his pursuers.
Thank you, Director. With your computer records and the information from the NPA, I have been able to work out the order they received the files. This is an important clue that Kira has left for us to find.
I am standing in the very place he died. The rhythm of the train matches the pounding in my heart. Kira, I will find you. You took Ray from me, and I will not rest until you pay. Naomi Masora stands as a beacon of quiet intensity amidst a world descending into the chaotic shadows of Kira's justice. Clad in black leather, she carries the weight of a detective's intuition and a widow's grief, searching for the confluence where truth meets the divine and the damned.
I remember him because he was alone, standing apart from the others during that terrifying bus ride. He shouted for everyone to get down, showing a level of composure that felt unnatural. I cannot say until I see him again, but my gut tells me he is the key. If my hunch is right, one of those other 6 passengers could have been Kira himself. It is a terrifying thought that the monster we hunt was sitting right there, breathing the same air as us. I need to know where this bus route leads and who he really is.
In the quiet suburbs, Light Yagami maintains the perfect facade of a dutiful son. The television hums in the background, a constant reminder of the storm he has created. To his family, he is just a student studying for exams, but the Shinigami Ryuk watches with dark amusement. Geez, what are these TV stations thinking? All the New Year's Eve specials are about Kira. Look at this emergency news report closing in on the truth of the Kira case. It is supposed to be a holiday, yet the world can only talk about one thing.
Well, I am watching the All-Star Song Contest no matter what, so watch that stuff in your own room, okay? Sayu is right that the media is obsessed, but I need to maintain my routine. The more normal I appear, the further I am from their suspicions.
The deaths of the FBI agents tell us that Kira's targets are not restricted to criminals. He will kill anybody who tries to apprehend him. All of us could be murdered by Kira if we continue this investigation. Quitting the task force will not lead to your demotion. If you want out of this investigation, you are free to leave right now. Think about your own lives and about your families and friends. Only those who are ready and willing to sacrifice everything and fight Kira are asked to remain. Meet me upstairs at 5 o'clock.
The hallway of the National Police Agency feels longer than usual today. Soichiro Yagami walks with a heavy heart, his footsteps echoing against the linoleum. He knows that he is leading his men into a battle where the enemy is invisible, and the stakes are their very souls.
I am glad to have you back, Chief. I should say, as many as 5 of you are willing to lay your lives on the line for this case. Just 5. Plus myself, that makes 6. With L and Watari, we are a total of 8 brave individuals.
How are we going to do this with just 6 people? There is Watari and we have L, but that still feels like a skeleton crew for a global manhunt. We need to know if L truly has faith in those of us who stayed behind today.
I have great faith in those of you who are brave and committed enough to remain. However, I must be honest with you. While I have faith in your courage, I cannot trust the police as a whole. The risk of Kira infiltrating your ranks is simply too high.
Just wait a minute. We don't have faith in L either. You say he has great faith in us, but he's the one who stayed hidden while the FBI agents were dying. You ought to know what that means. We are totally exposed while he remains safe.
What do you expect? If people say it is L's fault that 12 FBI agents have died, who can deny it? It is not just us. The public doesn't trust you either. People are turning against you, L, and we need more than just words now.
We will go after Kira, but we can't work with you if you just order us around without ever showing your face. It is true that a number of criminal psychologists have suggested that L is Kira, or that L has a split personality. We need proof.
L would have known the identities of those agents, and then all the FBI agents who entered Japan were killed. The FBI was brought in by L. The fact that he has never shown himself to anyone, and that he is a genius, makes that theory more convincing.
Yes, as I said earlier, I have great faith in you. Please keep what is about to happen a secret among the 8 of us. If you want to work with us and help us catch Kira, how about coming here to the task force in person?
Huh? What? What is about to happen? L is inviting us to meet him? This is something I never thought would happen in my career. He is finally stepping out of the shadows to face us, but we must keep this meeting a complete and total secret.
I would like to meet the 6 of you who have my trust as soon as possible. Do not speak of our meeting or having met me or what we will be doing to anyone who is not in the room now. That includes anybody in the NPA.
A proxy? Is that possible? I mean, how do we even know the guy we're meeting is him? From his usual MO, I'd bet he sends a proxy. I'd rather conduct this investigation on our own, without L, if he's just going to keep playing these games.
If he's really cracked all those hard cases alone, why would he be willing to show himself now, when we're down to just 6 people? how much help would we be? Well, I trust him, and I really think that to solve this case, we need him.
What if we look at it this way? El was waiting for this to happen. El made it clear from the very start that he would need help from the police to crack this case. He was testing us, seeing who would stay when the pressure mounted. Then we had detectives quit the case, one after the other, and confidential information was leaking out to Kira. There were people in the task force who didn't trust El from the very start. So you mean El was waiting for the task force to be reduced?
Yes, just those who were willing to risk their lives, and who trusted him and could be trusted by him. If we are going to team up with El, I'm out. I do trust El. I'd like to work with him. Don't worry, I won't try to trail you.
I am now in a room in the Imperial Hotel, so El did expect something like this to happen. The Imperial Hotel? That's just around the corner from here. Every few days, I will move to a different hotel in the Tokyo area for my safety. I would like the task force office in the NPA building to serve as a front from now on, with my hotel room serving as the de facto center of the investigation. This is a defensive measure to prevent Kira from learning what I look like. Realize this means I will have an unfair advantage over all of you in that regard. However, this is as far I am able to go at this point in order to gain your trust and work with you on this investigation. I will be waiting. Kira, I think that right now we're even in how far we've closed the distance between us. You've killed the agents, but in doing so, you've shown me your limitations. I can feel you nearby, hiding behind a mask of normalcy, just as I do. So I'll do this. I'll show myself to others as El for the first time. But the clue I've managed to get was obtained by sacrificing the lives of 12 FBI agents. 12 precious lives. I will not let their deaths be in vain. Bring it on. You'll definitely move in closer, if you manage to find out about this, Kira. Even if I find you, I can't prove you're a murderer unless I catch you in the act, or nail down hard evidence. But I will find you. Even if you get a look at my face, you can't kill me without knowing my name. Eliminating those FBI agents has got to have put you on the defensive. What are you thinking right now, Kira? Are you afraid of the net closing in?
Go. Yeah, these guys are fighting for real. Humans are hilarious. They set up these elaborate traps and task forces, never realizing that the power of a Shinigami is beyond their comprehension. This game of cat and mouse is getting much more interesting.
So far, I did that on purpose to put pressure on El, but now the task force has lost a lot of people. I can't do anything that publicizes my access to secret information anymore. If El was deliberately using so few agents because he assumed I'd kill them?
Who'd have thought the FBI sent only 12 agents to Japan? Was I being shadowed so early on just because my father's in charge of the investigation? And anyway, even if he suspects me of being Kira, he can't arrest me unless he gets his hands on the notebook. No, I've got to stop thinking like that. Still, I'm pretty sure I didn't leave any evidence. I moved around a lot these past few days. Did I make any mistakes? And what is my next move? Huh? It's over already? The real battle starts now.
The task force members arrive at the Imperial Hotel, their faces set in grim determination. They move through the lobby like ghosts, aware that every person they pass could be a threat. They are about to meet the man who holds the key to stopping Kira.
I've been awaiting you. El is on the other side of this door. This is the moment where the investigation changes forever. We are stepping into the lion's den, and there is no turning back once we see his face.
In a luxury hotel suite shrouded in secrecy, the long-awaited meeting finally begins. The man known only as El stands before the small group of dedicated officers who have risked their careers and lives. His appearance is far from what they expected, yet his presence commands the room with an undeniable heavy weight.
I am Detective Superintendent Yagami of the MPA. These men beside me are Mogi, Ukita, Aizawa, and Matsuda. We have abandoned our posts and our safety to assist you.
We are the only ones left who are willing to face Kira, regardless of the personal cost or the mysterious nature of your methods.
Bang. If I were Kira, and if I had the power you suspect, you would all be dead right now. You walked in here and showed me your IDs immediately. That was a reckless move. In this investigation, your name and your face are the only keys a killer needs to end your life.
Common sense says you cannot kill someone just by knowing their name and face, but the facts suggest otherwise. Kira is dropping criminals one after another based on information alone. We have no choice but to believe that he possesses a method of execution that requires only visual and nominal identification.
We are the only ones left who are willing to risk our lives for this case. Therefore, let us value our lives. From this moment forward, we must be extremely careful about who we tell our names to. One slip of information could lead to our immediate and untraceable deaths at Kira's hand.
Please turn off your cell phones, laptops, and any other electronic equipment you may have brought with you. Place them on that table first. We cannot risk the possibility of someone outside monitoring our conversation through an open line or a hacked device. Safety must be our absolute priority in this room.
Do you really think Kira could be listening to us right now? It feels like we are being overly cautious, but I suppose that is why you are the world's greatest detective. We will comply with your request, but the tension in this room is becoming almost too much for us to handle.
And don't call me L anymore. Please always call me Ryuzaki from now on, for safety's sake. It is a necessary precaution to keep our identities separate from our official roles. Keep this name in your heads and never speak of the name L outside of these secure walls. Now, all of you, please sit down. We have much to discuss and very little time to do it. The tea is ready, and we should attempt to find some comfort before we delve into the dark details of these murders. Let us begin our formal strategy session as a unified team.
I just had an idea. If we know that Kira needs to know people's names and faces, then can't we tell the media to omit those from their crime coverage? That could limit the number of victims significantly and force Kira to find other, perhaps more trackable, ways to find his targets.
You guessed it. I'm also childish, and I hate losing. That is why I am so invested in this case. Kira is the same way. He is a childish individual who cannot stand to be challenged. We are two sides of the same coin, playing a high-stakes game where only one can survive.
L recalls the pivotal moment when he used a television broadcast to challenge Kira. By using a death row inmate as a decoy, he confirmed that Kira was located in the Kanto region of Japan. It was a brilliant, albeit ruthless move that provided the first real lead in the investigation.
Kira started concentrating on Japanese criminals, and by the time he eliminated the FBI agents, he was concentrating on the Kanto area around Tokyo. He is reacting to my moves, proving that he has access to police information and is watching our every step with a calculated, murderous intent.
Kira's mental process is fascinating. He would say, "It is your fault, not mine. Those who shield evildoers from my judgment are evil themselves." He believes he is creating a utopia by holding the world hostage through fear. He thinks he is a god, but he is merely a murderer with a weapon. Fortunately, we have gotten commitments from police in every country, including the US, to provide us with information and forensic expertise. While the world is terrified, the global authorities are uniting to bring this killer down. We are not alone in this fight, despite how it may feel in this room.
Kira will start seeing enemies everywhere he goes. As he starts feeling cornered, he'll make some kind of move. The US is outraged over the deaths of the FBI agents, and they have agreed to send a massive task force of 1,500 investigators to Japan for this international manhunt.
Ryuzaki, I'll send this idea up to the Director General's office right away. If Kira feels cornered, who knows what kind of move he'll make next. We must be prepared for an escalation in violence or a change in his pattern. We cannot afford to be reactive. We must be proactive.
Do you mind if I share my thoughts on this case with you? Kira is one person acting alone. He has access to task force information, which means he is likely someone close to the investigation or someone who can monitor our communications. This is an internal threat as much as an external one.
And he can control the time of death, as well as the victim's actions before death to a certain extent. He needs knowledge of his victim's name and face to commit murder. This level of control suggests a power that is far more complex than simple heart attacks triggered by a distance. Now please keep those points in mind and listen carefully to what I say next. We need to analyze the timeline of the FBI agents' deaths to understand Kira's testing phase. He didn't just kill them, he experimented with them to find the limits of his extraordinary and terrifying power. On December 19th, Kira used imprisoned criminals to carry out what are clearly tests of his ability to control victims' actions before they die. He was probing the limits of his influence. By December 27th, using the results of his tests, he succeeded in killing all 12 FBI agents in Japan. He felt threatened and acted to eliminate all the agents in Japan. Within just 5 days of their arrival, Kira became aware of the FBI's presence. This proves that he needed to conceal which agent's file he had seen, implying he had a fairly close contact with at least one of them. From December 19th to December 27th, a total of 23 wanted or suspected criminals in Tokyo died of heart failure. That is just the victims we know about. The large number of victims indicates that he wanted to conceal which ones were the actual targets and which were merely tests. That means to eliminate the FBI agents, Kira needed to kill some people, even if they weren't Class A criminals. He is willing to sacrifice anyone to protect his identity. This shift in behavior is a crucial clue. He is no longer just a vigilante. He is a predator protecting his territory. However, we can be sure that during those 5 days, he was among those being probed by the FBI here in Japan. The 8-day gap between the tests and the FBI murders was to give the agents time to probe others so as to draw suspicion away from himself and his daily life. Kira went to quite a lot of trouble to get the names and photos of all 12 agents. He first needed to get to one of them. If we know which people those 23 heart attack victims and the FBI agents were investigating, we can find Kira. Let's form 2 teams to trace them.
By showing your face to us, aren't you admitting that Kira defeated you? Earlier, you said you hate losing, but now you seem to be accepting a tactical defeat. Is this a sign of weakness, or is it another calculated step in your plan to draw the killer into the open?
Yes, showing myself and the loss of those FBI agents means I lost this round. But let's show him, those of us who are risking our lives, like yourselves, this is the first time I've staked my life on a contest. I'll win in the end. The good guys always win.
Yeah, let's get him, El. Oops, I mean Ryuzaki. The good guys are going to win this. We are motivated and ready to follow your lead to the very end. We will find that one clue that Kira left behind and bring him to justice for everyone he has killed.
No. Maybe I'm being too impatient. If I could just get one more clue, something to clinch it. I am missing one piece of the puzzle that will connect the FBI's investigation to a specific individual. I must remain calm and wait for Kira to make his next inevitable mistake.
If I messed up even one time, if I left even one clue to my identity, I'm finished. I must be perfect. Every move must be calculated. Every death a step toward the new world. I cannot allow El to find even a single thread that leads back to me or my family.
Light Yagami sits in his room, the weight of his secret life pressing down on him. Beside him, the Shinigami Ryuk watches with amusement. Light knows that the battle of wits has reached a critical stage, and the slightest error could lead to his downfall at the hands of Ryusaki.
The memory of Ray Penber and the Shinjuku busjacking haunts the investigation. 4 people died of heart attacks around the station that day, and Ray was among them. This coincidence is too strong to ignore. It is the threat that El has been searching for, hidden in the public records.
A mysterious woman approaches the National Police Agency with purpose. She is Naomi Misora, a former agent with a personal vendetta and a sharp mind. Her arrival signals a new variable in the game, one that neither Kira nor El may have fully anticipated, as the shadows deepen around them. In the shadows of the National Police Agency, a lone woman stands with a terrifying realization. She knows that Kira's power extends far beyond simple heart attacks. The wind whips through her dark hair as she prepares to challenge a god, unaware that the deity she seeks is closer than she thinks. The names of the fallen are etched into the pavement of my mind. Each one was a necessary sacrifice for the new world I am building. They call it murder, but I call it justice. Soon, there will be no one left to oppose the peace I have decreed.
Seiyu, honey, could you please take your father some fresh clothes? He has been working so hard at the station lately. Light, are you heading out? You have been so diligent with your studies. I hope you are taking a moment to breathe and enjoy your youth.
That is okay, Mom. I will go for you. I was planning on heading towards the station anyway to drop off some notes. Besides, the walk will do me good. I told you I was going out with a friend today, so just leave a little early.
Are you sure, Light? Your entrance exams are coming up soon, and the pressure must be immense. I do not want you to worry about family chores when your future is at stake. You have always been such a reliable son, the pride of this entire household.
Don't worry, Mom. Placing first on the practice exam multiple times has given me plenty of confidence. I am only going as far as the reception desk to snoop around the task force office. I need to know exactly how much they have uncovered about Kira's methods.
Oh, so you are taking a page out of the Death Note to keep in your pocket, just in case. You are always so prepared, Light. It is almost frightening how you calculate every move like a grand master at a chessboard. This world of yours is never boring.
I am off then. Thanks for the lunch, Mom. I will make sure to call Dad on his cell phone first before I enter the building. I do not want to disturb any important meetings he might be having with the other investigators or the chief. The train is late again. This delay is unusual, but it gives me time to think. I have reached the voicemail service for my father. Maybe he is in an important meeting with Elle. I need to be careful. Every step inside that building is a risk. It seems I cannot leave a message. I must go there in person to ensure the information is handled correctly. The National Police Agency is a fortress of secrets, and I am the only one who knows how to navigate its corridors without triggering the alarms.
I am sorry, but there is nobody in the Kira Task Force office right now. They are all out on a field assignment. You cannot leave a message for the chief here. It has to be in person. Please follow the standard procedure for all visitors.
Who is that woman? She is being very insistent with the staff about seeing someone from the task force. There is an intensity in her eyes that suggests she knows something critical. I need to find out who she is before she talks to anyone else. Oh, hello. It is nice to see you again. I brought my father a change of clothes, but I guess he is not here. I am Light Yagami, the son of Detective Superintendent Yagami. Can I help you with something? You seem quite distressed by the receptionist's answers.
I write my name here, correct? I'm sorry, I'm just a bit overwhelmed. I remember you now. You helped solve that insurance money murder last year, didn't you? You were on duty that time too. It is a relief to see a familiar face here.
Are you trying to solve the Kira case too? I am on the right track myself. I may be able to beat Elle to it. If you have information, you can trust me. We belong to the NPA too, okay? We promise to pass your message to the task force.
It is common knowledge that rumors like this get around fast. A lot of people have been quitting the task force since those FBI agent murders. I guess they are really understaffed right now. It makes me wonder if anyone is actually left to listen.
That is true, but I am different. I want to help my father. If you would like, I can put you in touch with him. His cell phone seems to be turned off right now, but it would have to be later. Please, tell me what you know. The FBI murders indicate there are problems within the NPA. That is why she wants to speak directly to the task force. She is not taking any chances. Plus, she is a very cautious person. I can see it in the way she holds herself. Anyway, I know I can trust this woman. Her eyes tell me I can. If you can wait, feel free to talk to him then. My father will call me when he hears my voicemail. He will be glad to hear from a witness.
Of course, you have to trust my father and me, or this isn't going to work. This kid is good. He is playing her like a violin. I wonder if she realizes she is walking right into the spider's web.
I cannot tell you my father's cell phone number, but if you talk to him on my phone, I do not see why not. Is it really okay? I just want to make sure you feel safe sharing such sensitive information in a public place. How lethal could it be? Still, I better find out what it is, just in case. So you got her to take our bait, Light. I wonder what she wants to tell the task force. It could be lethal to your plans if she is right. This is no good. The NPA building is filled with security cameras. If I do anything here, it will be recorded and analyzed by Elle. I need to get her outside, away from the prying eyes of the surveillance state.
The way I figure it, Kira has far greater powers than people think. I have noticed it too. That is amazing, but this isn't the place to be. You have noticed that too? That is why I am here. Let's step outside.
I always prefer walking around outside when I don't want anyone to hear what I am saying. I don't mind at all. I hope you don't mind. It is much more private out here, away from the hum of the electronics and the guards. Would you mind telling me your name? I am Light Yagami. You write the kanji for moon and read it light. Unusual, isn't it? And Yagami is written with the kanji for night and God. It is a name that carries weight.
I'm Shoko Maki. The sho is the kanji for shine, and ko is child. Maki is written with the kanji for between and tree. It is a simple name, really. Nothing as grand as yours, but it has served me well enough.
I think Kira can do more than just kill people. It seems to me he can control their actions before they die. Yes, he can control what people do before they die. That's what I think. I didn't realize anybody else had.
Who is this woman? Kira can kill people using means other than heart attacks. If my analysis is right, she has figured out the core mechanic of my power. This is dangerous. I need to know exactly how much she has deduced. He can kill people using means other than heart attacks? I never thought of that myself. But if you're right, the murders Kira wants to keep secret would be committed with those other means. Exactly. Someone you know met Kira?
I'm pretty sure someone I know met Kira. Sorry, it's just that you'd have a pretty hard time convincing the police of that. I know, but if my hunch is correct, Kira was on that bus. He told me he got mixed up in a bus jacking.
That's why I want to explain my reasoning to the task force in detail. But if your friend actually met Kira, shouldn't he or she be the one talking to the task force? He can't do that. He was one of the FBI agents who was killed. You mean an FBI agent who met Kira? He was also my fiancé, Ray Penber. The name hits me like a physical blow. She is connected to the very man I eliminated on the subway. This is no longer a random encounter.
Yes, that's why I won't rest for a moment until the police arrest Kira, and I'll do everything in my power to help them. I was just shocked to hear that your fiancé was Ray Penber. What's the matter? Is everything all right?
The bus jacker was a killer wanted for holding up a bank 2 days earlier. He died when he was run over by a car. 8 hours before that, another wanted criminal tried to rob a convenience store and was stabbed to death.
And died at the scene in accidents. That's highly unusual. And during those 8 days, more than 20 people with some link to crime, including petty criminals, died in Tokyo of heart attacks. 8 days after the bus jacking, my fiancé and his colleagues all died. But after the FBI agents died, this spate of deaths abruptly stopped. My fiancé and the convenience store robber and the bus jacker were all used by Kira in order to murder the FBI agents in Japan. I'm convinced of it. And the bus jacking was a ruse for Kira to get information on the FBI from my fiancé. And that's how you figured out Kira can use other means to murder people? The robber and the bus jacker both died from causes other than heart attacks.
No, Kira for sure controlled the bus jacker. I know it. That seems like a big leap to me. Ever since I heard about that bus jacking, it nagged at me. He showed his FBI ID to another passenger. He said he had no choice.
So I casually asked my fiancé about it later. He was on a top secret mission, which was unknown to the Japanese police.
He was under strict orders not to show anyone his ID. He made me swear I wouldn't mention this to anybody.
So you're saying that Kira made the criminal hijack a bus to get your fiancé to reveal his identity. Your deduction is based on facts known only to you, and your emotions over losing your fiancé led you to this conclusion.
I'm convinced he was the one who tipped Kira off to the presence of the FBI in Japan. That's why your judgment is clouded by personal feelings, and you have no proof. I hope so. I agree it's worth looking into.
Still, your testimony will mean a lot to the task force. Right now, they're at a total loss. This could really help their investigation. And if what you say turns out to be right, I agree with you that they'll be able to catch Kira. Because if you are right, Kira was the person your fiancé showed his ID to on the bus. This Shinigami may not be on my side, but it looks like another god is. If this woman had told... Light watches the woman walk away, his mind racing with the cold necessity of her death. He knows that if she speaks to the police, his identity as Kira will be exposed within days. The world depends on his survival, so she must be erased before her truth reaches authorities.
Staring at the back of her head, Light calculates the risks involved in this encounter. Every step she takes is a threat to the new world he is building. He cannot afford to be sloppy. His plan hinges on total secrecy and the elimination of any potential witnesses immediately.
Light observes the security cameras mounted on the building walls, ensuring he stays out of their direct line of sight. He remembers his previous visit and how he manipulated the footage. Every angle must be considered to maintain his facade as an innocent student helping a confused stranger today.
Turning to the woman with a practiced expression of concern, Light asks her what is wrong. He needs to keep her engaged and close while the hidden mechanics of the Death Note begin their work. His voice is calm, masking the predatory intent lurking beneath his helpful exterior right now. Light lies smoothly, telling her that he is starting to believe her theory about Kira. He promises to help her investigate the matter further as soon as possible. This manipulation is designed to lower her guard and prevent her from seeking help from others before she dies tonight.
Ryuk floats nearby, a grotesque grin plastered across his face as he watches Light's theatrical performance. The Shinigami finds the human's cunning and deceit to be the ultimate source of entertainment. He knows the secret that Light has yet to discover, and the anticipation is absolutely thrilling for him.
Light makes a mental note of the current date and time, December 20th. He envisions the words he will write to seal her fate, ensuring her death looks like a tragic accident. The meticulous nature of his planning is what separates him from common criminals and messy killers.
The script in the Death Note is clear. Shoko Maki will commit suicide. Light has detailed the exact time and method to ensure her body is never found. He believes this will prevent any connection back to him, keeping the investigation into Kira at a complete standstill forever.
Ryuk laughs at the irony of the situation, his deep cackling echoing in the cold air. He finds it funny that Light thinks he has everything under control. The Shinigami's presence is a constant reminder of the supernatural stakes and the dark power Light now wields in this world.
Thank you for your trust, and I offer my continued support.
Internally, Light begins the final 10-second countdown. He watches her face for any sign of the heart attack or the onset of the suicidal impulse he programmed. The tension is palpable as he prepares to witness the results of his calculated and divine judgment on this woman.
As the final second passes, a dark smirk flashes across Light's face for a brief moment. He tells her internally to go meet her maker, confident that his victory is absolute. He believes that with this death, the greatest threat to his safety will finally be eliminated tonight.
Light's eyes widen in shock as the woman continues to stand and talk, showing no signs of distress. He checks his watch frantically, confirming that the time he wrote has already passed. Panic begins to seep through his composure as his perfect plan starts to crumble in public.
He questions why she hasn't taken off or collapsed. The details were specific, and the death note has never failed him before. He wonders if there is a flaw in the rules he hasn't discovered, or if something else is interfering with the notebook's lethal power right now.
Light's internal monologue becomes frantic as he tries to understand why the suicide didn't happen. He considers every variable, wondering if he made a mistake in the writing or the timing. The uncertainty is a foreign and terrifying sensation for someone who considers himself a true god.
Ryuk's laughter becomes even louder, mocking Light's visible confusion and growing desperation. The Shinigami enjoys seeing the human's arrogance shattered by an unforeseen obstacle. This unexpected turn of events is exactly the kind of chaos that makes the human world so interesting to him during his stay.
The realization hits Light like a physical blow. The name she gave him, Shokomaki, was an alias. He understands now that she was being incredibly cautious from the very beginning. She never trusted him, and his attempt to kill her has completely and utterly failed this time.
Light curses his own oversight, realizing that she is a far more dangerous opponent than he initially thought. Her use of a fake name means she is experienced in investigative work. He must find her real identity immediately, or risk her reaching the police with her dangerous information. Light tries to steer the conversation back to her personal details, hoping to catch her in another lie or find a clue. He asks her why she's leaving so soon, trying to mask his desperation with a facade of genuine interest and concern for her safety on these streets.
Just as he tries to press her for more information, his cell phone begins to ring, breaking the tension of the moment. He sees that it's his father calling, and the interruption couldn't have come at a worse time. He is forced to answer or look highly suspicious.
Light decides to let her go, realizing that continuing to follow her or asking too many questions will make him look guilty. He watches her walk away, his mind already spinning with new plans to track her down and discover her real name before it is too late.
He considers the possibility of stealing her purse or forcing her to show her identification, but dismisses the idea as too risky. He needs a more subtle approach to get her name. He cannot afford any witnesses to an altercation, especially not near the local police headquarters.
Ryuk floats beside him, offering the deal for the Shinigami eyes once again. He tells Light that with the eyes, he could see her real name instantly. It's a tempting offer, but the cost of half his remaining lifespan is a price Light is hesitant to pay today.
Light tells Ryuk to shut up and leave him alone. He is determined to win this game of wits, using his own intelligence rather than sacrificing his life. He believes he can find another way to outmaneuver this woman and protect his secret identity from the world's investigators.
In a secure hotel room, L speaks to the gathered members of the task force. He apologizes for his recent behavior, explaining that the interrogation was a necessary test of their loyalty and character. He needs to know exactly who he can trust in this fight against Kira. L's phone rings, and he informs the group that his assistant, Watari, has arrived at the hotel. He tells the team to turn off their phones to ensure total security. The investigation is entering a new, more secretive phase, and precautions are being increased to protect everyone involved.
The door opens, and a man dressed in a heavy coat and hat enters the room, carrying a large suitcase. The task force members are surprised by his appearance, but L remains calm. This man is the key to their logistical support and their safety against Kira's lethal reach.
Watari opens the suitcase to reveal several sets of high-quality fake identification cards. He offers them to the team, explaining that they must use these aliases from now on. This is a direct countermeasure to Kira's ability to kill people using only their names and their faces.
Al explains that Kira needs a face and a name to commit murder. By using these fake IDs, the task force members can work in the field without the immediate fear of being targeted. It is a vital step in closing the gap between them and the mysterious killer.
Back on the street, Light watches the woman disappear into the crowd. He calculates that she will reach the National Police Agency building in approximately 5 minutes. He is running out of time to stop her, and the pressure of the countdown is becoming almost unbearable for him.
The atmosphere thickens as the battle of wits enters a lethal new phase. A shadow falls over the city, where secrets are the only currency of survival. Within this darkness, a predator and his prey walk side by side, each hiding their true nature behind a mask of civility.
Please listen carefully. From this moment forward, you must use these fake identities for all communications. Your safety is paramount, and the NPA cannot be trusted entirely. If you accidentally reveal your real names to the public, it will cause irreparable harm to the integrity of this operation.
It is essential that you do not pull these IDs out by mistake while inside the NPA headquarters. We are dealing with a killer who only needs a name and a face. One slip-up is all it takes for Kira to end your life. Do you all understand the stakes?
One more thing. Please ensure you wear these belts at all times. They are not merely for aesthetics. There is a sophisticated transmitter embedded within each buckle. It is a lifeline that connects you directly to us, ensuring we can locate you in any emergency situation that might arise.
A transmitter inside the buckle? This is incredible. It feels like we are part of a top-secret squad from a spy novel. If the public knew the NPA was using this kind of technology to hunt Kira, they would be stunned. We really are El's elite strike team.
If you push the buckle with sufficient force 2 times, your cell phone will ring immediately. This is a signal that Ryuzaki needs to contact you, or that you are in immediate danger. We will check in every morning at the task force office to maintain tactical synchronization.
Aizawa, you will be the one to head out today. The rest of you must stay sharp and wait for further instructions. There is nobody in the NPA office right now, and that is a situation we must rectify. We cannot leave any opening for our adversary to exploit.
If someone from the task force office returns and she speaks to them, Kira is done for. I have less than 3 minutes to get her real name and eliminate her. I cannot afford a single mistake. I must move now, or I lose everything I have built. I just have to keep talking. It has to sound natural, like I am truly concerned for her well-being. I need to find an opening to get her name without raising her suspicions. If she feels even a hint of doubt, she will vanish into the crowd forever.
Didn't you think it was strange that nobody was in the task force office? If detectives on this case go around meeting anyone who comes to the office, the tragedy that befell my fiancé could be repeated. The investigation needs to keep its members a secret for their safety.
You are right. That is exactly why you were told that nobody was there. The Kira Investigation Task Force is using a new system to protect its members. It doesn't matter how many times you go, they will always tell you the same thing to ensure security.
That's good, Light. You are a smooth talker. I'm trying to figure out how you'll make her tell you her name, but you're doing a favor for me by keeping this interesting. Why do you know so much about this investigation, kid?
Well, I suppose I have no choice but to tell you. I am actually a member of the task force myself. This investigation is being led by El, and I have been helping the NPA solve cases for quite some time. It is a secret, but you deserve the truth.
What? You, a member of the task force? You still look like you are in high school. How could someone so young be part of such a dangerous and high-level investigation? I thought the task force was made up of highly qualified, veteran officers from the NPA.
It is true I am in high school, but I helped the NPA solve 2 other cases in the past. El was concerned he didn't have enough people he could trust, so he agreed to let me join on a flexible basis. We are a small team of trusted individuals. All of us have been hand-picked by El himself. By talking to me, you have spoken to a member of the task force, and that is as good as speaking directly to El. If this means my insights will be passed on to him, that is all I care about.
I worked with El myself 2 years ago on a case in the United States. He was just a voice through a computer, but I know from that experience that I can trust him 100%. He really can solve any crime, including the murder of my fiancé.
Yes, I was an FBI agent until just 3 months ago. I decided to trust the police and even the task force after what happened. I thought if I went to the office and had them verify my identity, they would let me speak to El directly about my findings.
You were an FBI agent? Well, that explains it.
No wonder your actions and your determination to catch Kira were so professional. I was really impressed by your sharp analysis and your prudence. It is clear that Elle has my complete and total trust.
But then, why did you tell me what you should have been for Elle's ears only? I was upset they wouldn't let me through to the task force, and then someone saying he's the son of the chief shows up. You reminded me of Elle. I feel you are similar.
Would you like to join the investigation? If you do that, you can work directly with Elle. Not just that, you can personally bring Kira to justice. Why don't you join the task force? You are exactly the type of person we need on our side.
I got to join the task force on my father's recommendation because I helped solve a couple of cases before. But they can't take just anybody. All you need to join us is proof of your identity, the recommendation of a task force member, and Elle's permission.
With your background as an FBI agent, you'd be perfect. You've even worked with Elle before. He already trusts you. It's got to be some kind of fate that we met like this today. I'll give you the recommendation you need to join the task force immediately.
I was supposed to move permanently this spring, after we got married. But now that my fiancé is dead, I have nothing left to lose. I want to get Kira. It's the only thing that matters to me anymore. I will join you if you truly think I can help.
Great, we're getting there. Retreat just a little more. But you're still a beautiful young woman, and this is a very dangerous investigation. Are you sure you're ready for this? Kira is a monster who kills without mercy or hesitation. Please let me join the investigation. Oh, yes? Gladly. If you could just show me some form of identification? Well, the name I gave you earlier wasn't my real name. I'm very sorry. I was being cautious, but I see now that I can trust you.
In fact, it's better than okay. I should have done the same. You were ahead of me there. If you weren't taking any chances and keeping your name a secret, I'd say that's even further proof of your eligibility. Is a Japanese driver's license good enough?
God, this woman is stupid. I can't believe she fell for this. If she hadn't insisted on the task force and just talked to the police, Kira would have been caught. Instead, now she saved his life. Naomi Misora, from September 2001 to October 2003 in the FBI.
What a pain. Writing this all out again for the same damn woman. Shoko Maki, suicide. Naomi Misora, suicide. Starting at 1:25 p.m. on January 1st, 2004, thinks only of how best to commit suicide in such a way that nobody will find her body.
Why do you keep looking at your watch all the time? Is there somewhere you need to be? You seem very focused on the seconds ticking away. Did I say something wrong, or are you just anxious to get back to the headquarters?
Oh, my watch? That's because I am Kira. It is exactly 1:25 p.m., Naomi. The time I wrote down for your final act has arrived. You won't be joining the task force because you'll be too busy finding a quiet place where you can die alone.
Huh? What do you mean? Kira, you can't be. Why are you saying these things? My body feels cold. What did you do to me? I was supposed to help Lei. I was supposed to avenge Raye. This can't be how it ends.
There's something I have to do. What's the matter? Didn't you want to talk to my father? Hey, my father's phone is back on. You could tell him everything right now. But I think you'll find that you have nothing left to say to him.
No, I have nothing to say to him. Goodbye, Light Yagami. I have to go now. I need to find a place where nobody will find me. It's time for me to go to sleep. Goodbye to this world that took everything from me.
Suicide is a valid cause of death. Basically, all humans are thought to possess the possibility to commit suicide. It is therefore not something unbelievable to think of. Whether the cause of death is a suicide or accident, if it leads to death, the person will simply die. The atmosphere in Tokyo is thick with invisible tension as the secret war between the world's greatest detective and the self-proclaimed god of the New World escalates. L sits in his characteristic crouch, holding a mobile phone as if it were a fragile artifact containing the world's secrets.
These phones are driving me absolutely crazy. Every single line in the National Police Agency is ringing off the hook with nonsense. How do they expect one person to deal with all of this? It is like the entire city has lost its collective mind over Kira today.
Listen to this one, Chief. This caller is whispering that he thinks he might be Kira, but he sounds like he is just looking for attention. Another one claims he saw a giant shadow in the sky. We are drowning in false leads while the real killer remains completely invisible.
If you really were Kira, why would you call the Special Investigation Headquarters instead of just going to your nearest police station for questioning? The logic is completely missing. I cannot wait to get back to the real headquarters, where we can actually do some proper detective work.
Ryuzaki, we have compiled all the security camera footage we could find from the day Ray Penber died. We were lucky to find this much. It shows Penber at various points, including a Ginza department store and a platform on the Yamanote line before his sudden heart attack.
This footage is interesting. He enters through a turnstile on the west side of Shinjuku Station at 1511. That matches the timestamp printed on the back of his pass perfectly. But look at his expression. He seems focused on something just out of the camera's narrow frame.
He gets on the train at 1533 and dies the moment he gets off at 1645. He traveled in one full circle on the Yamanote line loop, which takes exactly an hour. He was on there for an hour and a half, but no other ticket was found on him.
I suppose we could say the reason any of the agents acted strangely that day is because Kira can control people's actions right before they die. Look at his left hand on the platform. At the turnstile and on the platform, he is definitely holding a manila envelope.
There was nothing like an envelope found on his body, which means he must have left it on the train or it was taken. This is the last known image of Ray Penber alive. It was taken at 1521, just 8 minutes after he boarded the subway car.
It looks like he is desperately trying to look into the train. Even if he was shadowing someone, this image is not clear enough to identify who it might be. Why would Kira bother going there? He figured out we would look at the cameras and took the risk.
You have spent 4 whole days writing names into the Death Note light. You have hardly slept at all. You just keep scribbling away in that little book of yours. Are you okay? A bigger concern for me is that it definitely works if the data's set.
Put simply, Ryuk, suppose I went into the hospital. I do not want people saying, the moment Mr. Yagami's son went into the hospital, criminals stopped dying. I have scheduled these deaths weeks in advance to ensure there is no suspicious correlation with my schedule. I need to make sure this computer is clean, no matter who looks at it. The fact that nothing has happened to me yet is proof that Naomi Misora acted exactly as I wrote in the note. She committed suicide by the afternoon of January 3rd, leaving no evidence. Anyway, now that Ray Penber and Naomi Misora are dead, even if it emerges that I was on that bus, it should not place me under suspicion. Nobody knows about our date at Spaceland. It was our little secret, and now that secret has gone to the grave.
While Chief Yagami and Matsuda-san concentrate on what Ray Penber was up to, you keep searching for connections between the 12 FBI agents and those heart attack victims. All right, tell him the number for line 5. Ryuzaki here. Who is on the line with information?
Yes, our daughter Naomi Misora was engaged to be married to Ray Penber. Ray Penber's fiancé? I have heard that name before. Naomi Misora joined the FBI in September 2001 and attained the rank of special agent with unusual speed. She was a top-tier investigator.
Well, we called her the moment we heard about it on the 25th and told her to come home. But then after what happened on the 27th, she said she wanted some time alone to think things over. She's in danger. We tried calling again, but her phone is switched off.
And the day after Penber died, she went missing? No, Naomi Misora knew she had great inner strength and was an excellent FBI agent. In which case, did Kira get to her first? She might have known something. She was linked to the Penber investigation directly.
Then there's his unusual behavior on the Yamanote line. So the one who wanted the file could have been Penber. That's very significant. We are narrowing our investigation down to those Ray Penber was probing before December 14th, when Kira started conducting tests on prisoners.
We will place secret cameras and listening devices. Ryuzaki, that is going too far. This is Japan. That is totally illegal. If that caught out, there would be a huge scandal and we would all be fired. So you won't risk your jobs. I thought you were risking lives.
Let's see, who were the 2 NPA personnel that Penber was probing before December 14th? Deputy Director General Kitamura and his family, and Detective Superintendent Yagami and his family. I would like to place bugs and hidden cameras in those 2 specific homes immediately.
The psychological battle between Elle and Kira enters a dangerous new phase as the investigation moves behind closed doors. Every movement is scrutinized, and every silence is weighed, as the world's greatest detective prepares to invade the private sanctuary of those he is supposed to trust the most.
I would like to place high-tech bugs and hidden cameras in the homes of Deputy Director General Kitamura and Detective Superintendent Yagami immediately. We must eliminate the possibility that the leak is coming from within the leadership families if we ever hope to catch Kira in this lifetime.
You are suggesting that we violate the privacy of our own families with any hard evidence. If this information gets out, it will dismantle the entire task force and destroy the trust we have built. It is a massive risk that could end our careers in an instant.
But Ryuzaki, in Japan, that is an illegal violation of basic human rights for those involved. We cannot simply barge into the homes of our superiors and set up surveillance just because we have a hunch. There are protocols and laws that we are sworn to protect.
Ryuzaki, I need you to be honest with me right now. What is the actual probability of Kira being a member of one of those 2 specific families? Is there a reason you are focusing your entire investigative power on our private lives and our children specifically?
Statistically speaking, the probability is currently at 10%, though I suspect it might be closer to 5%. No investigation has turned up anything close to a suspect so far, so even a 5% lead is better than the nothing we have found in the streets.
Only 5%? You are willing to put us through this extreme scrutiny for a 5% chance? This is a heavy burden to ask a father to carry, knowing that his own family is being watched by cameras while they sleep and live their daily lives.
I understand the weight of this request, but there are no other ways to confirm my suspicions about the information leak. We must be thorough. If you are truly innocent, then the cameras will simply prove that fact to me once and for all within a week.
I find it extremely galling, to say the least, to have my own family placed under suspicion like this by my own team. However, if this is what it takes to find Kira, then so very well. Go ahead. You have my permission to proceed tonight.
Thank you, Chief. That is exactly what I plan to do starting tonight. I insist you go all the way. I want bugs and cameras in the bathrooms, hallways, and every single inch of the house, so that absolutely nothing is missed during our monitoring phase.
Chief Yagami, are you serious about this? Do you really understand what that means for your wife and daughter? They will have no privacy at all. Are you really okay with strangers watching them in their most private moments, just for this investigation into Light?
I am fully aware of what this means for my family. Now just shut up and do your jobs. If we do not do this thoroughly, then the meaning of this sacrifice is lost. We must catch Kira, regardless of the personal cost to my own household.
As a courtesy to Yagami-san, the surveillance of his home will be carried out by him and myself only, while the rest of you take turns doing the following. 2 people keep watch over the Kitamura house. We will focus exclusively on the Yagami residence from here.
This period may be shortened or extended depending on the circumstances we observe. In either case, I will tell you everything you have to know. I will not extend it secretly. The bugs and cameras will be in place for a total of 7 days. Once the bugs and cameras are in place, we will move over to that hotel for our monitoring. Watari, how long will it take you to get the equipment and monitors ready for deployment? We need to be operational before they return home from school.
Outside, the world remains unaware of the internal conflict. It is January 8th, and the crime rate has actually started to go down as Kira's murder spree continues. People believe Kira is doing the right thing, further complicating the task force's moral dilemma in this hunt.
See you later, Yamamoto. It isn't too late to send me a New Year's card if you want to make up for forgetting. I guess I'll just head home now and get some studying done. There is no one home, so it should be quiet.
I am sorry, Light. I only send cards to girls, so don't expect one from me anytime soon. He is heading inside now. We are watching the monitors. I cannot believe I'm spying on my own son as he enters our front door like this.
According to the person who installed the cameras, he is checking if anyone goes into his room while he is gone. He is being very methodical about his movements. Switch to camera 85. Let us see if he does anything unusual once he is alone.
There is nothing suspicious about a young man wanting privacy in his own bedroom. It is perfectly normal for a student his age to be cautious about his personal space. I don't see any evidence of Kira's activity here, only my son coming home to study.
Hey, Light, since nobody seems to be home right now, how about we play a game of Mario Golf on your console? I am getting bored just watching you walk around. You haven't said a single word to me since we left the school earlier today.
I can't talk right now. I have to be careful. Every move I make must be that of a normal student. If I act even slightly out of character, Elle will notice. I need to maintain my composure and focus on the task at hand without distraction.
You are not even listening to me, are you? You just keep staring at your books. This is the most boring afternoon I have ever spent in the human world. I thought being with Kira would be a lot more exciting than watching a kid study.
I have done it myself for no reason at all. Well, considering he is 17, it isn't all that unusual for him to be private. Oh, and Yagami-san, I hear your son is interested in the Kira case and following it closely. Is that really true?
So he is. I didn't realize he went to such lengths. Might there be something in there that he wants nobody to see? He is a bright boy, and it is only natural that he would want to understand the biggest mystery in the world right now.
I have hardly been home since the case started. Anyway, all right. I would never divulge confidential police information. Of course not. I did tell my family that I was heading the task force. It was necessary to explain my long absences from the house.
Hey, Light, where are you going? What is with the brush off? I am starting to get really annoyed by your silence. You are acting like I don't even exist, and I know you can see me standing right here behind you in the hallway.
So, that is why you were ignoring me earlier. There might be secret cameras or microphones hidden around the house. Actually, there are probably both. I could feel the presence of surveillance the moment I walked through the door. I have to be incredibly careful.
Huh? But wait, that slip of paper in your door was still there when we walked in. If someone had entered the room to plant cameras, they would have disturbed the trap you set. How could they have gotten in without you noticing the paper moved?
What I really check is the door handle. That paper is a red herring to make people think I am checking if anyone entered my room. That handle's designed so that when you close the door, it returns by itself to the horizontal position. That is as high as it goes. So before I enter the room, I always lift the handle first before lowering it to open the door. If it doesn't go up, that means someone might have entered. Yeah, on top of the upper hinge, I also have a piece of mechanical pencil lead in place. But today, usually I remove it before going in. After I close the door, I set it so it hardly shows from the outside. But if anyone opens the door, it will break instantly. It seems my mom or sister entered the room today while I was out.
Oh yeah, so that is what you were doing. The handle and the lead prove that someone was in my room. Well, who cares if they noticed the slip of paper? I know they didn't find the death note because my desk wasn't melted today.
Yeah, that wouldn't be like your mom or sister. They wouldn't notice the paper. The fact that the paper was put back in place is what bothers me. It means a professional was here, and they are trying to hide the fact that they searched my room.
Yikes, I can see you, so it doesn't look weird or anything. But by the way, what about your apples, Light? While I am holding it, they will see an apple floating in mid-air. Well, once it is in my belly, no, my mouth, it will be fine, but...
If there are cameras in the room and people are watching, Shinigami don't die, so you won't starve to death, right? So I can stop giving you apples, right? I cannot risk a floating apple being caught on a high-definition digital camera feed right now.
If I'm deprived, I go into withdrawal. Well, like cigarettes and liquor for humans. I twist my body up like a pretzel and do handstands. Listen, Ryuk, I sent a clue saying, gods of death love apples. So if you need to eat apples, you check for cameras.
You, on the other hand, are free to look all over the house, and the cameras won't see you. Well, I have to play the part of a serious student getting ready for college entrance exams. There might be a blind spot where you can eat your apples. So first, locate all of the cameras, if you're lucky. In other words, they see us, but we see them too. But if you cover the lens, it can't serve its purpose. So we need to find the cameras, and until we see that they've all been removed, you and I can't talk. So for that too, I need to know where they are. If the cameras stay there for a long time, I'll just find one and have my dad remove them. But it might be real hard to go without apples, and even harder to be in your room without talking.
Okay, a camera hunt. That sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks, Ryuk. You Shinigami are a lot more honest than humans. So let's go, Ryuk. Let's find every single one of those little bugs they planted in your house and get back to our game.
Light Yagami returns to his suburban home, appearing to be the perfect student. Unknown to him, the world's greatest detective, L, has begun a silent invasion of his privacy. Every step Light takes is a calculated move in a deadly game, where his life and his vision for the world hang in the balance.
Hey Light, let me ask you one thing first. Are you absolutely sure you're the only person who likes those barbecue-flavored potato chips? This camera hunt sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm ready to see if you can actually find where they have hidden all of those tiny little glass eyes.
Yes, Ryuk, it is just as I suspected. My family only eats the plain or sour cream and onion varieties, so these barbecue chips will serve as the perfect decoy for the plan I have in mind. If anyone is watching, they will see a normal teenager enjoying a simple snack.
To distract any potential observers, Light has placed a suggestive magazine on his bed, creating a facade of typical teenage rebellion. He knows that Thal will be looking for anything out of the ordinary, so he provides a common vice to mask the supernatural power he wields within the notebook's pages.
Ryuzaki, I hate to see my son being watched like this. It feels like a violation of his privacy. He is only 17 years old, and seeing him engage in such normal, if slightly embarrassing, teenage activities makes me realize just how much we are putting him through during this investigation of ours.
Oops, I'm supposed to be looking for those cameras, aren't I? I keep getting distracted by how serious you look, Light. This room is filled with secrets, but these humans have planted bugs everywhere. It's almost like they don't trust you to be the saint everyone thinks you are.
Yes, Chief Yagami. I have placed bugs and cameras in your house and the deputy chief's home as well. We must consider everyone a suspect, even those closest to the investigation. Please do not tell me that your son is above suspicion simply because he is your family. We must be objective.
Light, I found one. It is right inside the air conditioner unit. They were clever about it, but they cannot hide from a Shinigami's eyes. There are so many of them scattered throughout the room that it makes it almost impossible for you to move without being seen by someone.
So there are cameras in here after all. L's idea was to track down Kira, and he probably thinks that bugging my room is the best way to catch me in the act. He wants to see how far I will go to hide my true nature from the world.
Geez, I was almost tricked by the cover. At the very least, L's investigation has narrowed down the search significantly. He knows that Ray Penber was probing someone in this household, or they wouldn't be doing this. I need to think and act as if I am the only suspect.
Wait, that would mean they placed cameras in the homes of everyone Ray Penber investigated. They have likely narrowed it down further than I expected. I need to act now before they find something that links me to the deaths of those criminals. I must be absolutely perfect.
It's okay. I have prepared all these magazines just in case something like this happened. I was totally ready for this. It might seem like a desperate move, but I will definitely win this round against Elle. I have already fixed it so that criminals will keep dying for weeks. If that criminal dies today or tomorrow, Elle might suspect me of being Kira, but I will be watching whether I saw those news reports or not. I've already written their names in the death note ahead of time, ensuring the murders continue even while I am under his surveillance.
Yo, here's another one. This one alone is enough to cover your whole desktop. Whether criminals are reported in the news now or while you're under surveillance, it doesn't matter as long as the world sees that Kira is still active and moving toward his goal of ultimate justice.
Until now, every time a criminal was reported in the news, I eliminated them that day or the next. But if the perpetrators suddenly stop dying while I am not watching TV, then that makes me a suspect as well. I have to find a way to access current news.
What if I never turned on my TV or computer, and criminals featured during that time died while I had no way of gaining information about them? He'd have no choice but to conclude that Light Yagami is not Kira. I will show you, Elle, that I am clean.
Elle knows that Kira needs to know what his victims look like. If Light can prove he has no access to information, but the deaths continue, the suspicion will shift. It is a high-stakes gambit that requires Light to commit murders right under the noses of the police force.
Light, it is dinner time. Why don't you come down and join us? You've been studying so hard lately. Mom made something special, and we'd love for you to take a break and talk to us for a bit, instead of staying locked in your room all night long.
Thank you, Sayu. If the news were on right now, my whole plan would go down the drain. I need to make sure I am seen as a normal student. Watching a music program instead of the news will help maintain the illusion that I am not interested in criminals.
The whole family, except the deputy chief, is watching Channel 4 News while eating dinner. Aizawa-san, are the Kitamuras watching the news right now? We need to compare the behavior of all our subjects to see if any of them react to the specific reports we are broadcasting.
Watari, tell all of the TV stations to run that news special right now. We need to see if Kira reacts to the announcement that Interpol is sending 1,500 detectives to Japan. It is a bluff, but it will put the necessary pressure on him to reveal his hand.
Whether or not this news is true, you ran this because you want to see my reaction, Elle. That's the same trick you used the first time with Lynn L. Taylor. You want to see if I am shaken by the idea of 1,500 detectives hunting me down.
Those FBI agents were here on a top-secret mission, and look what happened to them. If Kira knows about these guys, he is going to get them too, for sure. It seems stupid for Interpol to announce this if they are actually going to send people in to work secretly.
Your son is very intelligent, Chief, but it is pretty obvious that Kira figured that out too. He is playing a game with us, and he is very good at it. We need to be even more careful from now on if we want to catch him in the act.
No way. Light, you're eating potato chips right after dinner? You're gonna get fat, you know. I didn't know a Shinigami could get this worn out just watching you act like a normal kid. I thought you were going to do something more exciting with those chips.
Whew, I think I found all the cameras. Okay, let's get started. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to tell you where they are and which way they're pointing. It's pretty complicated, so listen real hard. I don't want to go through this more than once, okay?
There are 64 cameras in total, hidden within the small confines of Light's bedroom. Elle has spared no expense to ensure that every angle is covered. To any normal person, this would be an inescapable prison of surveillance. But to Light, it is just another puzzle to solve.
I knew it was Elle. He had no qualms about putting that death row inmate on TV when he first challenged me. From the number of cameras and how they're placed, I'd say he expects to nail me pretty fast. He thinks he can catch me writing a name. While using the death note to kill criminals who are on the news right now, I will appear to be a model student preparing for his entrance exams. This won't show on any of the cameras above or to the side. My back will block the view of everything. Keep solving equations with my right hand while I pull out a potato chip each time and eat it. write out one letter of the guy's name with my left hand inside the bag. I've hidden a mini LCD TV inside the chip bag to see the news. I've written 3 names inside the bag. At least one of them ought to hit the jackpot, which means a criminal I could know nothing about will die of a heart attack in 40 seconds. I have successfully killed right in front of L's eyes without him knowing.
Your son hasn't turned on his TV or his computer once since dinner. He's studying really hard. Well, his entrance exams are in less than 10 days, so that makes sense. It seems he is exactly what he appears to be, a dedicated, brilliant student. Deputy Chief Kitamura's wife and eldest daughter watched those news reports, but Light did not. His son started studying at 7:30 and has been doing nothing else all night. It is almost funny how clean the Yagami family's behavior is today. It's almost too perfect.
Okay, just a few more to go. I need to finish this study session and dispose of the evidence before morning. L is watching, but he is seeing exactly what I want him to see. The perfect student, the perfect son, and the perfect alibi for Kira.
Light, are you awake? It's garbage day, so bring any trash you have downstairs. Don't be silly. You're the one who's always saying you don't need to be reminded, but you always forget. Just get it done so we can get on with our day.
Are you absolutely positive we aren't being followed anymore, Ryuk? I need to be certain that the surveillance has truly ended before I make my next move. The stakes are too high for even a single mistake, and I cannot afford to have L's eyes on me while I work.
Yeah, you definitely aren't being followed. I flew around above you a whole bunch of times, up to a radius of 100 yards, and didn't see a single soul tracking your path. You're just being paranoid because you want another one of those juicy red apples, aren't you?
All right, Ryuk, I believe you. I'll buy you an apple since you've been helpful today. It's essential that we maintain our bond, as your ability to see what I cannot is my greatest advantage in this game. Just stay quiet while we are out in public for now.
Yay! Finally a real treat. You know, humans are so interesting when they're under pressure. You go around treating a Shinigami like a pet just to make sure you're safe. First, you make me find all those cameras, and now I have to check for tails every single day.
Make sure you eat the core too, Ryuk. We can't leave any evidence behind that could be considered suspicious. While the cameras in the house are gone, I still have some finishing touches to add to my plan to ensure L remains completely off my trail for good.
Hey, in the end, I really am going to write your name into my death note and kill you. Are you really in a position to laugh like that? You're playing a dangerous game with your life, Light, and I'm just here to watch the show unfold to the end.
Even if Kira can set the time of death, I don't think he could set it for a time before he sees the news report. That purse snatcher and that embezzler died 2 days ago. They died before my family even knew about them. We should clear them as suspects immediately.
Oh, your son is back home. I have been studying the tapes we got from the bugs and cameras over the past 5 days numerous times. My conclusion is that no suspicious activity was observed in either the Kitamura or Yagami families during the entire surveillance period we conducted.
Back to ignoring me and pretending to study, I see. You're so focused on this laptop that you've forgotten I'm even in the room. I suppose this is how you plan to stay ahead of the police, by acting like the perfect, diligent student everyone expects you to be.
I only managed to kill a purse snatcher and an embezzler, 2 really minor criminals compared to my earlier victims. When I used the miniature TV 2 days ago, I couldn't read all the small writing, and I didn't turn on the sound because there might be bugs in the room. If they're minor criminals, and this happens only when I'm not getting any news, that could give him grounds to suspect me. Even if criminals die who were on the news while I wasn't online or watching TV, the pattern of their deaths might still link back to my schedule. Then people who committed minor crimes will have died both when I was watching and when I wasn't watching, so it won't attract special attention from L. If I kill minor criminals who are shown when I am watching the news, it creates a diversion from my actual habits. Now I already know where all the cameras are, so I'll just be real open about watching TV. And when I'm outside, I'll remember the names and faces of other criminals in the news, major or minor. I'll write them into the Death Note page I hid inside my wallet. There, I'm covered. Let L spy on me all he wants. Giving them various times of death is easy once I have the names and faces memorized. He will never find the scraps of the note I have concealed, and my justice will continue to be served without interruption.
I've studied the tapes we got from the bugs and cameras over the past 5 days numerous times, and my conclusion is that no suspicious activity was observed in the people of the Kitamura and Yagami families. We will remove the bugs and cameras from their homes tonight as planned.
Nobody? Well, none of them was on the right track with Ray Pember's targets. I thought we were on the right track, but I guess L was wrong this time. Please don't misunderstand me. I only said no suspicious activity was observed because I wanted to be objective about the facts. We'll just have to put our minds to starting over. Don't give up. All right, so we're back at square one. They're putting criminals to death, as always, without showing us how they do it. Even if one of them is Kira, they simply aren't making any mistakes we can catch.
There's a 5% probability that Kira is among those we watched, so you're saying one of them might be Kira after all. But if we can't catch them on camera, then we'll have to call each of them in for questioning. No, even if we do it like that, it's too dangerous. We need to let them know we suspect him of being Kira only when we're ready with hard evidence. First, we need to prepare some hard evidence. We can't just go in blindly without a solid plan to trap him into a confession or a visible display of his power. Let's say all he has to do is imagine it. Would you still expect that any normal human being would exhibit some kind of change in their expression or behavior while killing someone? Even during the time we had the cameras there, murders committed by Kira took place daily.
So none of them is Kira? That's the reasonable conclusion. But during that time, everyone in the Kitamura and Yagami families looked the same as usual as they went about their daily lives. Several criminals died of heart attacks right after they were on the news, yet nothing changed.
That means Kira's psychological state has already reached the divine level. He's judging sinners without batting an eye. This isn't divine judgment, though. It's the work of some childish killer who's playing at divine retribution. That's all this really is. A child with a god complex.
Or was it sacrilege on their part to question divine will? Well, I have no time for those who say the gods are capricious and beyond human understanding. For a god to need knowledge of someone's name and face to kill them is ridiculous. It's a very human limitation.
It's someone in either the Kitamura or the Yagami family. If it's one of the people Ray Pember was investigating before December 19th, and I'm definitely going to catch him. The mass murderer we're calling Kira definitely exists. What should I do? Instead, he'll probably find the cameras first.
But even if we leave the cameras in place, we can't expect Kira to show any indications of killing anybody. The best thing would be to get him to tell me himself that he's Kira and carry out a murder in front of me. I need to force his hand.
Hey, Light, the cameras are gone. All of them. Oh yeah, you think the bugs might still be there? But I will keep going after Kira. That means I'm no longer a suspect. Exactly the way I'd planned. Hey, Light, you listening to me? This is your chance to move.
If L is still working with the NPA, then one of the people he's using is my father, which means L and my father probably trust each other a lot more now. My father would never say yes if the relationship between L and the task force was as shaky as it seems. Or did he discuss it with the task force and get my father's permission? Did L install those cameras on his own? Maybe I can use my father to get rid of L. Kira will be one step closer to being like the god of this new world I am creating.
January 17th, day 1 of the Standard University entrance exams. Light's family wishes him luck as he departs for the prestigious Toh-O University Testing Center. He remains calm, knowing that his intellectual superiority will easily carry him through the academic challenges ahead, while his secret plan continues.
It'll be easier to make time to operate as Kira and to find out more about L once I start going to college. Well, it was good to have one less thing to stress me out before the exams. Whew, it sure was a relief to find out the bugs were out of there too.
I hate waiting inside, so I was planning to arrive 3 minutes before they start. Got here a bit early. The atmosphere is tense with hundreds of students vying for a future.
I must maintain my focus and not let any distractions interfere with my performance today.
Ensure all your materials are correctly labeled and that you follow all instructions printed on the exam booklet. Any form of cheating will result in immediate disqualification. You have the allotted time to complete this section. Begin now and work diligently until finished.
You, there, number 162, sit properly. This is a formal examination environment, and we expect all candidates to maintain a standard posture. Please adjust your seating and focus on your paper. Any further disruption will be noted by the examiners on duty. Thank you.
I feel someone watching me. It's not a normal gaze. It's intense and calculating. I can sense a presence right behind me that doesn't belong in this hall of students. I need to remain calm and continue my exam without showing any signs of agitation or suspicion.
I have been watching you, Light Yagami. In this quiet hall, beneath the scratch of pencils on paper, our true battle begins. You are as composed as I expected, but I will not let you slip away. Every movement you make is being recorded in my mind right now.
The year is 2004 at the prestigious Tohoe University entrance ceremony. Beneath the cherry blossoms, a sea of ambitious students gathers, unaware that two of the most dangerous minds in the world are about to cross paths in a game of life and death that will change history forever.
So you're a college student now, Light. Gosh, I'm just so incredibly proud of you. Seeing you standing here among all these elite students really brings a tear to my eye. You've managed to maintain your top grades while cleansing the world of evil. Truly impressive work, kid.
Being at the top is exactly where I belong. This university is just another step in my plan to create a perfect world. I have to remain composed and perfect in every aspect of my life so that no one can ever suspect the true identity of the new god.
The ceremony begins inside the massive auditorium as the Master of Ceremonies steps to the podium. The atmosphere is thick with expectation. 2 students have achieved a perfect score on the entrance exams, a feat nearly unheard of in the long history of this academic institution's rigorous testing.
Wow, Light, look at that. They're calling for the freshman representatives. It seems you aren't the only genius in this room today. There's another guy who got a perfect score too. This is getting interesting. I wonder what kind of person could possibly match your intellect so perfectly.
Oh, yeah, wow. It's nothing like that Hideki Ryuga guy for sure. I heard he's a famous pop idol or something. Did the MC really say Hideki Ryuga? Like the actual pop idol? Why would someone that famous be taking the entrance exam for Tohoe University right now?
I'd heard there would be someone else giving the freshman address with me, but I didn't expect it to be him. That's the guy who always sat in that weird way right behind me every single day of the standard exams. He really stood out like a sore thumb back then.
He looks completely out of place in this professional environment. His posture is terrible, and his clothes are far too casual for a ceremony of this importance. And yet, he achieved the same perfect score as I did. I must be careful. There is something unsettling about his presence.
Wait, does that mean people like that actually exist? I heard those 2 both scored a 100% in every single subject on the exam. That's impossible. Even for Tohoe standards, having 2 perfect scores in the same year is a statistical anomaly that shouldn't happen in reality.
Yeah, but even if their total was the same, don't they usually weigh different subjects to decide? What's wrong with you, Kyoko? The guy on the left is way better looking. He looks like your typical elite private school type. The guy on the right is just, well, he's pretty weird. On the stage, the contrast is stark. On the left stands Light Yagami, the embodiment of the perfect student, pampered, brilliant, and elegant. On the right stands the stranger known as Hideki Ryuga, looking wild, bizarre, and entirely disinterested in the prestige of the moment unfolding before them.
I noticed when he was going up there, the guy isn't even wearing socks. You'd think someone coming to the Tohoe entrance ceremony would at least dress properly. If he was stupid, he wouldn't get in with a perfect score.
but maybe he's some kind of crazy genius type.
You're the son of Detective Superintendent Soichiro Yagami of the NPA. Your respect for your father is matched only by your deep sense of justice. It is an honor to meet you, Yagami-kun. I have been looking forward to this interaction for quite some time now.
You aim to reach a leadership position in the NPA yourself, and have in the past provided insights that have led to the solution of several cases. So if you will swear to me that you will not tell anybody, I shall place my faith in your abilities.
I won't tell anybody. What is it? Why is he telling me something of vital importance regarding the Kira case? What's with this guy all of a sudden? Should I just ignore him? Or is there a reason he is approaching me with such strange, focused intensity right now?
I am L. I thought this guy was strange, but is he seriously insane? That couldn't be. What is this guy saying? Would L ever come out and say he's L? No, that's impossible. He would never reveal himself so openly to a potential suspect like this.
Anyway, right now I need to behave naturally. If he really is L, he'll be watching my every move. Damn, I can't lose my cool. If he's L, then he's probably shown himself to my father as L too. I am trapped in a situation I didn't anticipate.
I told you who I was because I thought you might be able to help us solve the Kira case. If you're Kira, there's nothing that could pressure you more than this. Light Yagami, the probability of you being Kira is 5% or less, but you're too perfect.
If this guy's L, he's really something else. He's just standing there watching you with those dark eyes. If it's true that if this guy's L, no, even if he isn't really L, he's definitely playing a very dangerous game with you right now, Light.
I can't do anything to him. Now that he's revealed himself to me as L, if he dies, I'm immediately under suspicion. If I write his name into the death note, even if I use the name Hideki Ruga, it won't work if that is an alias.
Does this mean he still suspects me? He's focused on the people Ray Penber was investigating. But why would L approach me directly? I don't know how strongly he suspects me, but I am definitely under suspicion. There is no other reason for him to tell me his identity.
Hey, Light, it's that guy. He's calling you. Look at this car. Is that a limo? Oh, yeah, of course. Bye. He's some kind of VIP or just super rich. And top of the class, too. What a jerk. He's really rubbing his status in your face today.
Ah, he got me. I've never been so humiliated in my entire life. That damn L. He deliberately used a pop idol's name, knowing I couldn't kill him without risking everything. He played me perfectly, making me feel powerless in a public place where I should be winning.
So, do the I deal with me and kill him? Right, and then what if that guy isn't really L? That would be like telling L straight out that I'm Kira. Shinigami killing people and humans killing people are very different things, okay? So don't lump them together so easily.
I like this, Ryuga. If you want to be friends with me, I'll gladly hang out with you. And when you've told me everything I need to know, I'll kill you. We'll be buddies on the surface, but below the surface, I'll make you trust me. Then I'll destroy you.
The stage is set for a confrontation that transcends mere athletic competition. Deep within the shadows of the Shinigami realm, ancient beings watch the mortal world with a mixture of boredom and growing intrigue as the first move in a grand, lethal chess match is finally played out.
Have you heard the rumors drifting through the wasteland? They say Ryuk has found something truly peculiar down in the human world. It is not just a soul to harvest, but something far more entertaining. Word is he has practically become some human's pet, or perhaps even worse.
What is all this talk about humans and pets? Ryuk used to have some pride as a Shinigami, but now he is spending all his time watching a boy play games. I heard the human is using the note, but Ryuk just sits there like a loyal dog.
Actually, I was talking about the human himself. What kind of person is he to catch Ryuk's interest? Is he male or female? It doesn't matter, I suppose. Who would ever want Ryuk for a pet anyway? He is not exactly cute or helpful. This is just pathetic.
Jeez, man, I can't stand the suspense of just hearing these stories. I think I am gonna head down there and have a look-see for myself. There must be something special about this human if he can make a Shinigami act like a common house cat.
On the bright, sun-drenched campus of Toh University, the atmosphere is electric. Two extraordinary minds walk side by side, heading toward a tennis court. To the casual observer, they are just students, but a hidden monster follows in their wake, unseen by all but one.
Don't worry about me, Ryuga. I used to be the British junior champion back when I lived in England. I might be a bit out of practice, but I remember how to handle a racket. I am curious to see if your skills match your academic reputation.
That is quite a coincidence, Yugami. I actually lived in England for about 5 years myself. If you were a junior champion there, then you must be formidable. I wonder if I should ask him about his citizenship status to probe deeper into his Kira identity.
Who cares where you lived? I will try my best anyway. If he thinks he can rattle me by mentioning his past, he is mistaken. I need to maintain my composure and play this game perfectly to avoid revealing any psychological weaknesses he might exploit.
Oh, really? This is getting interesting. Light is trying so hard to act normal, but I can see the gears turning in his head. Relax, Light. It is absolutely impossible for him to figure out L's identity just from a simple tennis match. Or so you hope.
Fine then, let us keep it simple. Whoever wins 6 games first will be the winner of the set. Are those terms acceptable to you? I want to ensure we have a clear victor in this little trial of ours. It is only fair, wouldn't you agree?
This is just a simple tennis game, but I know it's not. He's trying to determine if I might be Kira by observing my competitive nature. He couldn't possibly be planning to build a full psychological profile of me just from the way I play tennis.
Kira hates losing more than anything. If I can push Yagami to his limits, his true nature might emerge. I will watch his every move, his every reaction. The way he handles pressure on the court will tell me more than any interrogation ever could.
He moves first, always trying to gain the upper hand. Hey Ryuga, are you ever going to get around to warming up, or are you going to keep standing there? You seem remarkably confident for someone who is about to face a former champion on the court.
15 love. It seems my serve has caught you off guard, Yagami. You shouldn't underestimate me just because I have an unusual posture. I have spent a lot of time analyzing the physics of this game. This is going to be a very enlightening afternoon for both.
Hey, Captain! Look over there at the tennis courts. A couple freshmen are using them, and they are playing at a level I have never seen before. People who just joined the team are already drawing a massive crowd. Who are those two guys anyway?
You haven't heard? Those two are Hideki Ryuga and Light Yagami. They are the ones who got the top scores on the entrance exams. They seem to be hanging out together since the entrance ceremony, which is news to me. They are like some kind of power duo.
Whoever they are, we aren't just letting them use our courts without asking. But wait, look at the way they are playing. They aren't just good, they look like professionals. It is like they are fighting a war with rackets instead of just playing a friendly match.
Damn, look at this crowd. If we get them to join our team, we would be really popular. Well, if they are such hotshots, a game between them should draw even more people. Huh, nobody has been watching for more than 3 minutes and they're already sweating.
These guys are clearly not amateurs. Look at the intensity in their eyes. It is almost frightening. They aren't even smiling. They are just staring each other down across the net. It is like the tennis ball is a weapon and the court is a battlefield.
Relax, Yagami. I know Kira hates to lose, but you don't have to be Kira to want to win a tennis match. If I lose on purpose, he will think that I think he is Kira. So losing makes me seem like Kira too, right?
If I try too hard to win, does that make me seem like Kira? On the other hand, if I lose on purpose, he will think I'm trying to hide something. Either way, it's the same thing. I have to play naturally, but naturally for me is winning. He's got some other reason for doing this. There is no way he'd profile me through a tennis match. so I'm beating him at tennis too. I will show him that I am superior in every field, leaving him no room to doubt my perfect student persona.
I see. He's trying to win. He's not holding back at all. His drive to succeed is overwhelming. This confirms my theory about his personality, but it doesn't prove he is Kira yet. It only proves he is exactly the type of person Kira would be.
Hey, look, you guys suddenly have a referee and linesman too. The whole school is coming out to watch this. The game count is 4-all. This is more intense than the last time I watched a soul get judged in the underworld. Keep it up.
I thought I'd heard of Light Yagami before. So, hey, what about Ryuga? Then he's totally holding his own against this junior high champion. In fact, he's even better. When he won in 2000, he announced he was quitting. He hasn't been in a tournament since.
Still, I will get them to join the tennis team. On top of entering To'o with 100% scores, they're both great athletes. This is a sick joke. It's as if we'd pretext really get to know each other by playing tennis. We are playing a dangerous game.
The moment we finish this match, he'll bring up the Kira case. He'll try to make Light Yagami say things only Kira would know. But if we're going to talk about the Kira case, it's obvious that Light Yagami would want some proof that he really is L.
I told you I was L, saying I thought you might be able to help us solve the Kira case. I'm positive you're going to make use of that. You'll think that by playing this match, I've laid the ground for moving a step closer to you. Let's see.
If he shares details of the investigation with me, that'll give Kira an advantage. At the same time, gaining such information will reduce the risk of Light Yagami saying something only Kira would know. So what you're going to suggest to me is to meet L.
What you're going to suggest to me is that we should go to the task force headquarters together. Whoever makes the first move wins. You can't ever win if you're always on the defensive. To win, you have to attack. That is the final truth.
The final rally is a blur of motion and power. Light Yagami pours every ounce of his frustration and brilliance into a single, decisive strike. The ball streaks across the court, a physical manifestation of his will to dominate his opponent and escape the trap being set.
Set! Won by Light Yagami 6-4.
What a match! That's the first time I've played for real in ages, Ryuga. You beat me, Yagami-kun. You really are as incredible as they say. It was an honor to share the court with you today.
Well, you just beat me, so you can ask me anything you want. How about getting a drink? I think we're both thirsty, and there's something I want to ask you too. The truth is, Yagami-kun, I still suspect that you may in fact be Kira.
If you still want to ask me, knowing that, go right ahead. I have nothing to hide, and your suspicions are merely a reflection of your own obsession. Let us see where this conversation leads, Detective. I am ready for whatever move you decide to make next.
The world of the Shinigami is a desolate, rotting landscape, where time itself seems to have expired. Ryuk, the bored death god, watches the human realm with hungry, bulging eyes. His presence looms over the unfolding game of cat and mouse, a silent witness to the carnage and the duplicity of men.
I can't believe L just admitted he thinks I might be Kira. He is playing a dangerous game, standing here on the tennis court and acting so nonchalant. If I react too strongly, I look guilty. If I am too calm, I look suspicious. He is watching every muscle in my face.
What I am really hoping for is to become 100% certain that you aren't Kira. You have brilliant powers of deduction, Light. That is why I am asking you to help us with the investigation, even though there is still a 1% chance you are the killer.
1%? That is a smart way of putting it. If he says I am a suspect, even at 1%, there goes my freedom. I have to meet the task force now. Refusing would be a preemptive admission of guilt. He has effectively cornered me into a professional alliance.
Anyway, there are too many people around the tennis court to talk about the Kira case here. Let us go somewhere private where we can have some actual security. I want to show you the evidence we have gathered so far and get your unique perspective on the patterns.
I beg your pardon, sir, but L's orders are that nobody outside the task force, even yourself, is allowed to know the current status of the investigation. We are operating under the strictest secrecy to ensure that Kira does not get wind of our next strategic moves against him.
Well then, I am very sorry, sir, but it is not even possible to account for where you are or what you are doing. Why is there never more than one person in the task force office? It feels like we are losing control of our own department to a ghost.
Mogi, is it true that someone has come up to my daughter saying he is L? I cannot answer that question either, but I need to know if my family is being targeted or if they are under suspicion. This secrecy is tearing the trust within our investigative team apart.
It isn't quite the case that your daughter is under suspicion, Yagami. But please, set your mind at rest. We are simply following the leads wherever they go. L is a careful man, and he wouldn't investigate someone without a very substantial and logical reason for doing so.
If anyone is truly a suspect in this case, it's my son. Please, forget you heard that. The papers are saying the police are incompetent, that L is incompetent. The police are so scared of Kira, they have run from the case with their tails between their legs.
With all due respect, sir, how could anybody call that competent? My son is a top student and a person of integrity. If L is investigating him, he is wasting his time while the real killer continues to operate in the shadows. We must focus our limited resources. If you're so concerned about what the papers say, then please make damn sure they don't find out most of the officers have jumped ship. You know very well how many detectives I have left on the task force. We are barely holding this investigation together by a thread. As we speak, L is out there risking his life to solve this case. Can we trust him? Yes, we can. He is certainly more competent than we are, despite his strange methods. We have to rely on his genius if we ever want to see Kira behind bars.
This is one of my favorite coffee shops because you've picked the perfect place for this. If you sit here in the back, nobody can hear what you're talking about. It provides the necessary anonymity for a conversation of this magnitude and gravity regarding the Kira investigation. If I sit the way other people do, my reasoning ability drops by 40%. It's true. I just can't sit any other way. Yeah, for one thing, back here, nobody's going to be staring at you for sitting like that. It might seem strange, but it is my way. I don't mean to be rude, but can I test your reasoning abilities? In that case, that can wait until you're positive that I'm not Kira. So you go ahead and start Ryuga. I am interested to see how your mind works when faced with actual criminal evidence.
I'll be fine. The way things stand, he has no proof that I'm Kira, and I have no way of proving that I'm not. I need to make him trust me so I can worm my way into the task force. This is a test of my reasoning abilities.
Well, to earn some points for later, I need to show him that I do have some powers of deduction. But if I clam up, afraid of letting something slip, does that make me Kira too? I have to find the perfect balance between showing intelligence and feigning ignorance.
I draw this conclusion from the fact that while L would always use an alias anyway, you made a point of calling yourself Hideki Ryuga, someone whose name and face are known to practically everyone in Japan. That is a very specific choice for a man hiding.
You're saying I'm right, just like that? Correct. Why should I hide the fact that you're right? And the probability that you're really L is extremely low. Why's that? Even when he's using the police, he needs to do that from the shadows, out of view. The real L needs to stay someplace safe at all times. You're right that anyone calling himself L puts himself in danger. And why would he come out into the open now when he's never shown himself before? It contradicts everything we know about his established operational security.
Still, I actually think you really might be L, Ryuga. Well, most people probably imagine L to be a lot older than you, or more detective-like somehow. Meaning, and what are the odds that L took that into account in choosing me? It is a circular logic loop.
I have to admit, I'm getting pretty confused. When you start second-guessing and third-guessing like this, it's endless. Humans are such fascinating creatures, always trapped in their own webs of suspicion and mental gymnastics, while I just enjoy the show and the apples.
I'd like you to look at it and tell me what you think. This information has never been made public. Since this is basically an interview to see if I can request your help in the investigation, I suppose it's rude not to show you anything at all. And these 3 photographs show notes written by prisoners shortly before they died. We believe they wrote them under Kira's control. This is a list of the 12 FBI agents who were murdered by Kira, with the order in which they received the file and died.
Let's see. First, please take a look at the FBI list. Does it tell you anything? Does he think that showing me these is going to make me go pale or something? He is watching my eyes for any flicker of recognition or guilt as I scan the names. He doesn't give Kira much credit. Is the Kira he envisions stupid enough to fall for something like this? What's this file you said they received? If I don't know that, there's no way I can make sense of this. I must act like a confused outsider.
In that case, okay, Kira needs to know what people look like, and maybe also their names. This file contained both names and photos, and the very same day the agents received this file, they all died. So there's a possibility that Kira used this file to kill them.
Jeez, this is kid stuff. These photos have their print number on the back. These 3 notes are very interesting. All right, what about these notes? It looks to me like he could have dictated these notes, actually, because they contain a hidden taunt to Elle. It's pretty amazing.
But because the order that makes most sense would be, let's see, Elle, do you know gods of death love apples? If you take the first word of every line, they form a sentence, or rather, a question. That doesn't make much sense, so I find it hard. Elle, do you know gods of death love apples? If you put them in that order, the backs of the photos have their print number on them. Kira wanted Elle to read it like that. Incorrect. In fact, there's a 4th note. A 4th note? If you add this, you get the following message. Elle, do you know gods of death love apples? Gods of death have red hands. No, it wasn't, because there were in fact 4 notes. Figuring that out would have made your reasoning flawless. This is a crucial distinction. Okay, but if there were only 3 notes, my reasoning was flawless. What does he think he's going to find out by showing me this bogus note? Is he just fooling with me? Damn. I think I'm correct in deducing that you decided there were only 3 notes, Yagami-kun.
I get it. He doesn't want to see how smart I am. He wants to see my reaction. There was no 4th note, so he'd find this whole thing ridiculous or get pissed off. So if I insist on my version, he'll only be more convinced it's me. Gee, you're right. I didn't think of that. But still, either way, I don't think these notes will help you find Kira. I mean, Shinigami don't even exist. Saying I decided there were only 3 notes is just a way of challenging me. It's got nothing to do with determining if I'm Kira.
Stay cool. I'm sure his main aim was to have me come up with, Elle, do you know gods of death love apples, without noticing the print numbers. If you came face to face with someone who might be Kira, how would you try to determine if he was? But if he's Kira, he'll be watching out for more tricks. Now, so he won't talk much anymore. He didn't fall for the file or the print numbers. I'd try to make them say things that haven't been reported in the news. Things only Kira could know. Very good. But you, Yagamami-kun, were instantly able to think about it from the perspective of Kira talking to an investigator. When they finally came up with an answer, it was usually something silly like, bring out a well-known criminal and watch from a hidden location if they kill him or not. I have already asked the same question to a number of detectives, and most of them took a few minutes to think about it. Look at him, all satisfied with himself. Does he think he set me up or something? I have to say, you are quite brilliant, Yagami-kun. Truly impressive. Now it's up to 3%. Indeed. However, this also increases my desire to help us in the investigation. Your analytical skills are beyond reproach, and having someone with your intellect could be the key to cracking this case wide open and finding Kira.
If this guy turns out to be nothing more than Elle's errand boy, there's practically no point talking to him. To tell you the truth, you guessed correctly earlier. At present, I am not the only one going around calling himself Elle. This is just one layer of the duplicity.
If I help you, the investigation might move forward. At the same time, if I'm Kira, I might slip up and betray myself. Do you understand my logic?
My position is this. Even if you are Kira, I'd like you to help us with this investigation. It is high stakes.
I don't know for sure that he isn't L, but if this guy's just some proxy who works for L and doesn't even drop by the task force, I ought to stop talking to him immediately. Hey, Light, looks to me like he's got you up against the wall. While it's true I'm very interested in the Kira case, and even in helping to solve it, I think you've got me all wrong, Ryuga. So you and I are in the same position, basically. Think about it from my perspective. Is it fair that you get to question me, but I can't question you? I'm not going to help someone I can't even trust and end up getting murdered by Kira. I'd rather think about the case on my own. I'm not Kira, and I sure as hell don't want to get killed. This is becoming a very dangerous conversation for me.
Anybody looks at us, all they see are two college students. In fact, most people would probably say you're more likely to be Kira than me. Neither of us can prove we aren't Kira. It is a stalemate of identity and suspicion in this public setting. He's a classic example of someone who hates to lose. It's up to 7%. Or maybe he really is. Boy, Light Yagami sure talks a lot. If you say you can't do that until I prove I'm not Kira, then I can't work with you on this case. I'm talking about having someone I can trust. For example, someone in the task force or my father tell me straight out that you're L, or at the very least, a part of this investigation. Am I correct in understanding that if I take you to the task force, you'll help us?
I'm working directly with your father and the rest of the task force right now. I never once said I wouldn't let you meet with members of the task force. What the hell is this guy thinking? He is constantly shifting the goalposts on me.
Excuse me? Beep, beep, beep. What's the matter? Ryuzaki, we have an emergency. Mr. Yagami has collapsed. What? The news hits like a physical blow. The investigation comes to a screeching halt as the reality of mortality intrudes upon our mental battlefield in complex games.
Now it's mine. Light, it's your father. Yagami-kun, your father had a heart attack. Kira? The word echoes in my mind. Did Kira do this? Is it a coincidence? Or has the killer finally struck home? My world is spinning as I process the horror.
You may lend the Death Note to another person while maintaining its ownership. Subletting it to yet another person is possible too. The borrower of the Death Note will not be followed by a god of death. The god of death always remains with the owner of the Death Note.
Director Demagawa rants inside the Sakura TV conference room, his voice booming with frustration. He demands his staff find a fresh angle for their Kira special as ratings are starting to slip. He believes the other networks are too scared to touch the real stories that viewers want.
A nervous staff member points out that the police haven't released any new information lately. He argues that without official leads, they are effectively stuck in a hopeless loop. The atmosphere in the room is thick with smoke and the mounting pressure of meeting Demagawa's impossible demands.
Demagawa slams his hand on the table, shouting that if they cannot find a good story, they must simply create one. He is indifferent to the truth, focusing solely on grabbing the public's attention. He orders them to use any means necessary to keep the audience tuned in.
The director suggests manufacturing convincing graphs and using catchy quotes from the public to support their narrative. He claims that over 50% of people surveyed support Kira, and they should highlight this. His goal is to manipulate the viewer's perceptions through carefully crafted media segments.
The scene shifts to the quiet, sterile environment of Baraki Hospital, where Soichiro Yagami lies in a recovery bed. Light and his mother, Sachiko, sit vigilantly by his side. The contrast between the chaotic TV station and the somber hospital room highlights the personal toll of Kira.
Light expresses his deep concern, noting that his father suffered a heart attack even though he was not a target. He wonders aloud if the stress of the job was the primary cause. He looks at his mother, trying to provide comfort during this incredibly difficult family crisis.
L arrives at the hospital, his presence immediately changing the room's dynamic. He suggests that Kira has more reason to want Soichiro dead than anyone else. He notes that the leader of the task force is a significant obstacle that Kira would naturally want to remove permanently.
Soichiro admits that the thought of Kira targeting him had crossed his mind while he was collapsing. He remains steadfast in his duty, however, telling his family that he must return to the case. His commitment to justice outweighs his own physical health and his family's desperate pleas.
Sachiko tells Light that he should head home now that she is there to look after his father. She wants to ensure her son gets some rest, despite the ongoing investigation. She tries to maintain a sense of normalcy in the face of their family's sudden, terrifying misfortune.
Elle discusses the heavy psychological burden of having a son who was a primary suspect in a mass murder case. He observes Soichiro's reaction closely, looking for any signs of doubt or hidden knowledge. His clinical approach to the situation creates a palpable tension within the small room.
Light confronts Ryuzaki about the fact that he revealed the secret investigation to his father. He questions Elle's motives for being so transparent with a man in such a fragile state. Light is clearly frustrated by how Elle is handling the social dynamics of the Kira investigation.
Elle confirms that he has told Soichiro everything, including his true identity as the Detective L. He explains that transparency was necessary given the circumstances of the case. He watches Light's eyes, searching for a slip in his facade as they discuss the progress of the hunt.
Light reflects on the danger of being too hasty while watching Elle's every move in the hospital. He realizes that he must remain perfectly composed to avoid triggering any further suspicion from the detective. He wonders if his father's belief in him is actually protecting his secret identity.
Soichiro tells Ryuzaki that his comments regarding Light's possible involvement are incredibly precise. He finds it difficult to reconcile his son's character with the profile of a cold-blooded killer. He urges Elle to consider the possibility that his deductions might be leading him toward a false conclusion.
Elle apologizes for his bluntness, but maintains that he much prefers hearing the absolute truth over comforting lies. He believes that only by facing the harsh realities can they hope to catch Kira. He asks Light to have a little consideration for his father's current medical condition.
Soichiro tells Light to focus on his studies and not worry about the investigation for the time being. He believes Light has plenty of time to join the NPA after he graduates. He wants his son to have a normal life, free from the darkness of the Kira case.
Lee explains that his suspicion was based on the fact that Kira had access to task force computers. He mentions the 12 FBI agents who were murdered on December 27. He notes that the file containing their information was received on that exact day, pointing to an inside leak.
Light listens intently as Elle describes the possibility of Kira being a member of the task force. He realizes Elle is narrowing the search to the families of those involved in the investigation. He maintains a look of shocked realization, playing the part of the innocent, helpful student.
Elle brings up the specific case of Ray Penber and his missing fiancé, who was also an agent. He notes that she was in Japan and disappeared shortly after Penber's death. He finds these actions curious and noteworthy, suggesting Kira was actively removing anyone who got too close.
Light realizes that Elle has narrowed the focus of his investigation down to the Kitamura and Yagami families. He understands that because the FBI was probing them, they became the primary suspects in Elle's mind. He is impressed by the detective's cold, calculating logic and his persistent focus.
Lee praises Light's deductive abilities, noting that his powers of logic are truly outstanding. He admits that he cannot fault Light for being suspicious of his own methods. He remains convinced that the real killer is someone with a high level of intelligence and access to police data.
Light smiles and tells Ryuzaki that he will help with the investigation to prove his innocence once and for all. He vows to catch the real Kira for his father and for himself. His confidence is a calculated move designed to earn Elle's trust, or at least delay him.
Soichiro looks at his son with pride, moved by Light's determination to help the police catch the killer. He believes his son's heart is in the right place and that he will make a fine officer. He is completely unaware of the dark battle of wits occurring before him.
Light swears that if anything happens to his father, he will personally ensure that Kira receives the death penalty. He speaks with such conviction that even Elle seems to momentarily pause. He uses his father's condition as a shield to deflect any remaining suspicion away from his activities.
Elle asks Light what kind of person he envisions Kira to be, trying to get a glimpse into his mind. He wants to know if Light sees Kira as a hero or a monster. This question is a psychological trap, designed to see if Light reveals his own ideologies.
Light suggests that Kira might be an affluent child who is using the power to make the world better. He argues that a younger person would be more likely to act on a sense of misguided justice. He tries to frame the profile in a way that sounds objective.
Elle agrees that a child might use the power for an ideal, but an adult would use it for gain. He thinks Kira is someone who likely has access to a cell phone, computer, and television. He describes a profile that perfectly matches Light's own daily habits and social standing. Elle suddenly shifts the topic to Light's younger sister, Sayu, asking if Kira would target her next. He questions if Light would be willing to sacrifice his own family to finish off his father. The bluntness of the question shocks everyone in the room, creating a moment of horror.
Soichiro shouts at Ryuzaki, telling him that he has gone way too far with his baseless accusations. He refuses to believe his son could ever be capable of such a monstrous act against his own flesh and blood. He defends Light's character with everything he has left in him.
Light tells his father that he's been starting to think Kira is truly evil lately. He agrees with Soichiro's sentiment that the power to kill people is the real evil. He skillfully aligns himself with his father's morals to further cement his innocence in the eyes of the police.
Elle reflects that anyone who finds themselves with the power of Kira is truly cursed. He believes that obtaining such power can never bring true happiness to a human being. He looks at Light with a mixture of suspicion and a strange, distant kind of pity for his situation. Elle apologizes for his behavior and says he will return to work as soon as he is able. He is still feeling the effects of his recent collapse, but remains driven by the case. He prepares to leave the hospital, signaling the end of the tense bedside confrontation.
Light and Elle walk out of the hospital together, the atmosphere outside much cooler than the room they left. Light asks Elle if he truly doesn't trust him at all after everything they've been through. He wants to know if Elle's suspicion is purely logical or something more personal.
Elle stares at Light, his eyes dark and unreadable. He tells Light that it feels terrible to be suspected of being Kira, but his feelings don't change the facts. He is still looking for a way to prove his theory, regardless of how much Light tries to appear helpful.
Light asks why Elle would suggest something as extreme as locking him up for a month to clear his name. He finds the idea absurd and a violation of his rights. He challenges Elle to find a better way to conduct the investigation without resorting to such drastic measures.
Elle admits that Light has a point, but he is reconsidering his stance because of Light's behavior today. He notes how Light acted toward his father and how that influenced his current assessment of the situation. He isn't ready to let Light go just yet, however, keeping his options open.
Light says goodbye to Elle and watches as the detective drives away in his car. He reflects on his duty to help the investigation once his father's health has stabilized. He feels the weight of the dual life he is leading, constantly balancing his public persona with Kira's mission.
Light thinks about the misfortune that Al mentioned, wondering if he really is cursed by the Death Note. He looks up at the sky, contemplating the future he is trying to build. He remains determined to succeed, no matter the cost to himself or to those around him.
Ryuk laughs his signature, chilling laugh, watching Light from the shadows. He tells Light that he couldn't care less whether the notebook makes him happy or unhappy. He is only here for the entertainment, and the drama between Light and Elle is providing plenty of it today. The Shinigami notes that as a rule, humans haunted by his kind have nothing but misfortune in their lives. He finds it amusing that Light considers himself a lucky break in this grand, tragic design. He flies off into the night, leaving Light alone with his dark, secret thoughts. A few days later at Sakura TV, the atmosphere is frantic as usual. Director Demagawa receives a special delivery from an unknown sender. He jokes about it being a mail bomb, but his curiosity is piqued by the mysterious package. He quickly opens the envelope to see what is inside.
Demagawa pulls out 4 videotapes, labeled 1 through 4. He is confused at first, but his expression quickly turns to one of intense excitement. He realizes that this could be the big break he has been waiting for to save his show's falling ratings and gain fame.
He reads the accompanying note, which states that the sender is Kira. The note claims that the proof is on the first videotape. It instructs the station to broadcast the other 3 tapes on national television at specific dates and times to prove Kira's power to everyone.
The note contains a terrifying threat. If the tapes are not broadcast as instructed, Kira will kill the board of directors. The murders will start with the company president and proceed down the line. Demagawa is both terrified and exhilarated by the insane scale of this new development.
Demagawa grins, his eyes wide with the realization that he is holding a message from Kira that will be sent to the entire world. He doesn't care about the risk. He only sees the massive opportunity. He prepares to launch the most controversial broadcast in the history of television.